All right. Well, it is the big day. We are here. It is the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk, and I am so glad you're here watching the stream. I'm Pastor Lance Rhodes, and this is my great friend here. We're here to celebrate together at the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. This is my first year behind the mic. My name is Nicole Carson, and we are going to bring you all the exciting events that are going to be happening here today. So stay tuned and follow us through this day.
First off, we want to say a big thanks to our great sponsors that are helping make this together. If it wasn't for UPMC and UPMC Health Plan, we would not be able to be here today. And so we want to say a big thank you and a big shout out to those. Also, for everybody who's watching live here today, I want you to do my first most important thing today. If you're watching live on Facebook, give us a share on this video right now so that way that everyone can see. It is not too late for you to get down here either.
Listen. This walk may have started at 9, but the walk is not till 11:30. So get down here, bring your kids, bring your family. There's so many activities. There's vendors, there's food, there's live music, as you can hear, and phenomenal speakers that you're going to hear today.
You probably see there's so much activity going on behind us already. And it's important to know that this is a celebration of everything that Pittsburgh and the Pittsburgh region has and believes in when it comes to people in recovery. This event is here to celebrate everyone's journey, no matter how they get here. We're here to reduce stigma. We're here to increase access. We're here to celebrate what is happening. And there's just so much fun going on in this community today. There's more people here. This is hands down the biggest event so far. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. When we were walking up here, I just said to Lance, I said, this is the biggest one, and this is just getting started. So I just can't believe everybody's coming here just to celebrate recovery. And my favorite saying of recovery is the restoration of something lost. So if that applies to you, come down and see us.
Right. So if you're watching at home, if you're just catching this live stream right now, it's not too late. You can get right down here. It's really easy. Parking is super easy. Get right down here, right in Smallman, right across the street from the convention center. Easy to get to. You can pop down. There is resource tables. There is live speakers. We've got people everywhere. There's food. There's fun. There is just all kinds of over 80 resource centers are here, tables that are here. So if you or a loved one, or you're recovery curious, you want to know what can I do, what's happening, every important agency in the county is represented here today. And then we've got a great program coming up too.
You know, I heard today that Gateway inpatient is watching this live, right? Listen, guys, I am a Gateway alum. I sat in those chairs. So I'm here to tell you recovery's possible. So next year, you need to come down here and find me because I will be waiting for you. You can do this, guys. Enjoy it.
It's one of the great things about this program is that everybody here has some connection, some story, and it's never too late to start. Today's a great day. Today's the best day to begin. And so thank you for being part of your recovery journey and being here to celebrate with what's happening where you are. So wherever you're at, wherever you're watching today, whether you're inpatient, at home, on social media, on the bus, on the way here, we are ready to rock it here. Let's talk for a little bit about the program, who we have coming in to speak and these kind of things. So just kind of kicking things off every year, we do our the Recovery Awards, which is a really great project celebrating individuals who've made significant moves in recovery and for people in recovery this year. And that's being presented this year by City Councilman Bruce Krause. We couldn't do this event without him. What a wonderful support he's been over the years.
Yeah, we also have Dr. Lakita Davis-Jones that will be here and Dr. Dal Adair. We are so honored to have them come today, take time, and to welcome our community with open arms. It really just shows the movement that is happening for us in the recovery community.
And you don't want to forget, too, this is not just about formal professional people. There's also going to be people here that are just sharing their life story. And so you're going to want to make sure that you're tuned in and listening in on those events, because this is key. Individuals, we've got family members in recovery. We've got individuals in recovery. We've got LGBTQ people telling their specific stories, because we know that when it comes to recovery, everybody has their specific issues, their specific story, their specific need. And we're here elevating all these stories, making this happen today.
I actually know the three speakers today, and they have phenomenal stories. You do not want to miss it. There is so much that you can learn from all of our speakers here today. And I'm really excited about our keynote speaker. What do you think?
I'm honored. I can't believe we got Brian Cuban. I mean, this is Pittsburgh native. If you don't know, this is a hugely impactful lawyer, advocate, author. I mean, if you haven't read his book, gotta get it. But he's going to be here, and for those of you that are watching, I want you to understand, all of our Gateway friends and everyone who's watching online, our live stream is going to get you the hookup on all kinds of fun stuff today. So if you're watching at home, or you're watching in Inpatient, we're going to actually be taking you through the space today. We're going to show you some of our friends and who have been doing their work. They'll be talking about their projects and what's happening. And so you'll get a sense of the excitement and fun that's going on in the community here today at the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk. We also want to think about, we'll be taking a moment to stop and watch the things at the stage, and then we'll come back to our resource center. And then we're also going to get to do some private interviews with the people. So chime in, chat in on the box, ask your questions. There's exciting things happening here today at the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk.
I'm just so honored and so grateful to be here again this year. The vibe here is amazing. Like, you get goosebumps and everybody's smiling and there's people everywhere. This is the greatest day here in Pittsburgh. Please do not miss it. Bring your kids, because addiction is a family affair. We have jugglers, guys on stilts. My son's favorite last year. He was so excited. We still look at that picture. So come on down, bring your kids. You don't want to miss this. It's just too amazing.
And one of the fun parts with all the families and all the kid-oriented program, there's bounce houses, there's food. I mean, there's just lots of wonderful things going on. I'm going to tell you, I was having a conversation with somebody the other day. I think this is one of the best events that the city hosts. We're thankful to be here. We're thankful to be in a city. We're thankful to serve alongside people that serve in our public space that believe in recovery, and they're rooting for you. We're all working together in order to make this happen. So I know this is, for those of you who watched last year, I was here last year doing a live stream, but this is your first year on the live stream. Why don't you take a quick second and tell everybody how long you've been involved with the Recovery Walk, and tell everybody about why you're here today.
So the reason why I'm here today, first and foremost, is I'm a woman in long-term recovery. And I truly believe in, once I got out of the darkness, I was coming back to dish out the light. So I've been coming to this walk for 7 years. Even when we went virtual, I still watched it through COVID. And I come every year because this is the best celebration. I bring my kids every year, and it is just unbelievable. This is my first year behind the mic, so I'm a little bit nervous. I'm not going to lie. But this is my first year getting involved with the committee. And honestly, for as many years as I've been coming, I had no idea how many hours and how much hard work, love, and dedication comes into putting this together. It is, it's absolutely unbelievable.
I think it's a really good thing to bring that up, and we absolutely should say that. I've been able to serve on the Recovering Steering Committee for the last couple of years, working alongside some of the best volunteers that make this event happen. Nobody realizes how much work goes into this, so a big shout out and thank you to all the volunteers, all the sponsors, all the donors, everybody who comes and supports and dons the Recovery Walk t-shirt. I see all the different years. People are wearing different shirts. It's a wonderful celebration. Things that are going on. And so in just a few moments, we're going to start taking you around, so you'll be able to see some of the activity that's going on here at the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk. We are here celebrating. We're thankful that you're joining us. So again, if you're just tuning in, I want you to do me a favor right now. If you're on social media, I want you to post a like and share. You can chime in, send a little comment, and tell me you're watching. Where are you watching from? Do you plan to get down here? Let us know where you're at and what your recovery story is, because today is the day we have all made the decision that every recovery story matters.
Absolutely. I cannot stress enough. Your story is so important. You are so important. So if you haven't had a moment to get down here yet, Please come down and join us. For all of our folks in Gateway, I am so proud of you getting to that point. I remember how difficult that was. So congratulations. This is the start of a new life. So come on down, follow us for the interviews, follow us for all the excitement. You might catch me in the bounce house. I don't know. I think it's for kids only, but I plan on jumping in. But I'm so grateful. I'm honored to be here, and I hope you guys enjoyed today as much as we do.
So we're gonna go ahead and start taking you over around to the locations in just a few moments. So stay tuned, and we're gonna be ready to do this, ready to celebrate together, and we're looking forward to meeting everybody here face to face at the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk. Thanks for being here.
Hi everyone, this is Nicole Carson here. I am standing here with Gabby Adams from Big Brothers and Big Sisters. I'm just here to ask you a few questions. What's your organization do?
Yeah, we're Big Brothers, Big Sisters. So we provide free mentoring for youth in Allegheny, Washington, and Greene counties. We have community-based and site-based programming. So community-based, they go out in community 2 times a month. We as an organization provide a bunch of free activities like Pirates games, Steelers games, kickball tournaments, and then we're in a few schools. So our mentors go into schools and do some mentoring as well.
Beautiful. How long have you guys been coming to this recovery walk?
This is actually our first recovery walk, so we're really happy to be here, and hopefully this will be a long-standing tradition.
Beautiful. So we have some folks listening in from Gateway Inpatient. What would you like to tell them?
I would like to tell them, hi, hello. We at Big Brothers Big Sisters are empowered by your empowering journeys and stories. If we have services that might benefit you, please go to bigbrothersbigsisters.org, PGH, find our services, and thank you for, letting us speak.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the most important question of the day, and I'm really excited about it. If I asked you, give me one word that describes the recovery walk, what would it be?
I just said it, empowering.
Yes. Well, you heard it. This is Gabby Adams with Big Brothers and Big Sisters. Empowering is the word. And then hang tight. We're going to get you to our next interview. Thank you.
All right, everybody. So that was a great interview. Thanks, Nicole, for pulling that together for us. I'm here with my friend Pamela, who is here with the Allies for Health and Wellbeing. And we're just going to take a few seconds. One of the great resource vendors that are available here at the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk. Pamela, can you just take a second, say hi to everybody, and let everybody know who's watching online and inpatient, your name and a little bit about your organization.
Good morning, everyone. Hi, my name is Pamela Smith. I'm with Allies for Health and Wellbeing. Health and Wellbeing is a community-based organization. We offer free HIV, Hep C, syphilis, chlamydia, and gonorrhea screening, and we also have a van that's out in the community. So this is my first time coming to this recovery walk, but I've done a whole lot of recovery events throughout the month of September. So I just want to give a shout out to everyone who is seeking treatment to take care of what it is that you need to do for yourself in this fight.
Yeah, and that's great. Thank you so much being one of the great community organizations to provide Hep C testing and other testing. We know that's something that is an issue that we see a lot of people facing in the world today. So I'm really thankful. You said you have a van, you go out in communities. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Okay, so the van, we have a van that goes to different communities. How you can find out where we're located, you can either call the agency to see where we're at certain times throughout the month, or you can go on the website and it'll show a couple of locations of where we might be. We also offer free testing on Sundays from 9 o'clock to 4 o'clock. So if you're interested, you could also call and make an appointment, or we do walk-ins. And walk-ins is first base serve.
Great. Thank you so much for the great thing. So this is your first year here at the Recovery Walk. So why don't you tell everybody, some people who might not know the Recovery Walk, what does it feel like to be here today?
It is very awesome. I'm also in recovery myself. I also used to work for Alpha House, which is treatment center. And so it's just awesome to see all of these organizations out here giving support and being sponsors and reaching out to everyone. And it's just awesome.
Thanks so much. Thank you for sharing your personal story. You know, so many people who come have a lived story. They're afraid to talk about it. What do you think it means being part of a committee and a community of people like this? How important is being in a community for a person's recovery journey?
It is very important, especially when you have support, a support team, because we can never do this alone. We always have to have some kind of support system to make it through day by day. So once again, it's just one day at a time. Sometimes you have to break it down to an hour, a minute, and so forth. But you need that support system. So make sure you get connected with a sponsor, go to meetings, and just stay connected.
That's great advice. Thank you for sharing that. Pamela, one question I have for you is, if you could give me just one word to describe the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk, what's that one word that you would give?
It's so many words that I can explain, so I'm just going to stick with my awesome. It is so beautiful down here with all these people down here getting the information that they need.
All right, well, this is great. We're going to go on to the next resource center. Nicole's going to take you and interview the next place for you. So stay tuned. Thanks, Nicole, for taking us from here.
Hi, everyone. This is Nicole Carson here again. I'm here with Jessica Muniz with Celebrate Recovery. We're so excited that you're here. So tell me a little bit about your organization.
So Celebrate Recovery is a 12-step recovery program that's Christ-focused. So all the 12 steps, the 8 principles are biblically founded, and that's what we put our hope into.
So tell me, we talk a lot to these community partners. Why is community so important?
I think if you've spent one moment in recovery, the cliche is "I can't, but we can," and that's the key. I think for me, I've tried myself my entire life to do this, and I couldn't until I got involved in community.
So I'm going to tell you. So I got to tell you this. So Jessica and I went to high school together, and that just shows how small this world is, but how large the recovery community is. To come back 20 years later and see her, and we're both here celebrating recovery, this may be coming up on my favorite memory at a recovery walk. What's yours?
I would say, honestly, just seeing everybody come out. I mean, I've never felt more unified with one voice till I come to something like this, and I see all the different faces, different races, ages, stories, but we're all together with one voice today, man, and it feels amazing.
It really does. So we actually have some really special guests on top of all the folks close and far that are watching. We have Gateway Rehab watching us. What would you like to say to Gateway?
Gateway, you guys, one day at a time, man. That's what it's all about. Keep connected, keep your community, one day at a time. You've got this.
Yes, you do. Now, my favorite question of the day, and I'm going to tell you this every time. Describe recovery in one word.
Freedom. Freedom. Come on.
Yes, freedom it is. All right, guys, thank you so much, and hang tight for the very next interview with Lance. Thanks so much. Bye.
All right, this is great. We're here. I'm here with Natalie here at the Cambria County Drug Coalition, which is an awesome organization, one of the other great organizations that we have here at the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk. And so, Natalie, why don't you just take a quick second, and can you just let everybody know, what is it the organization does?
Absolutely. So we are the nonprofit organization in Cambria County focused on all things substance use disorder related. We follow a national model for community change. So we work with every member in Cambria County to work on strategic goals and specific things. Number one, to prevent substance use disorder for youth, to improve systems of care for those experiencing substance use disorder, and to celebrate the reality of recovery.
And that's amazing. What a wonderful and systematic way to talk about how individuals with substance use disorder can get organized and structured help. And so Cambria County, you're thinking it's the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk, but this is big, right? It's a big event. Everybody's here from everywhere. So wherever you're coming from, or if you have a loved one anywhere, there is somebody connected here at the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk that can get you somewhere. So tell me for a second, This is your first year for your organization being here. What does it feel like to be here?
Absolutely. So we are so excited to be a part of this, to be a part of the even bigger movement of the reality of recovery. If you are a loved one or in Cambria County, you can connect with us at the Cambria County Drug Coalition.org. We are so excited to be here and just celebrate the reality of recovery. More and more every day, people are entering recovery and living a life free of substance use disorder. And that's what we're here to celebrate. And we couldn't be more honored to be here and celebrate with you today.
And that's a really important part. More people every day are coming in to recovery, addressing substance use disorder, and moving on. So you're not alone, no matter where you are in your recovery journey, whether it's day one or this might be another time that you've gone through this journey. You are not alone. There is a whole community and another whole county worth of people that are working together in order to help bring to reduce stigma and help raise awareness and connect people to resources in order to make sure that people can live whole lives. So, Natalie, can you tell me, if you could sum up what it means to be here, what you're seeing or feeling at the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk in one word, what would you use?
I would say unity and community. I think that everyone here is for the same reason, and everyone here is to celebrate recovery. It's amazing when you can get a group of people together, small or large. Today is a large group. When you can get a group of people together, all focused on the same mission and the same goal, and that is to live a life away from the disease of addiction. And I just think that that's incredible.
That's great. I thank you so much. Unity, community, all working together in order to address substance use disorder in the lives of those that we love and our neighbors and our friends. So whether you're here shopping by, make sure you check out the Cambria County Drug Coalition table and some of the other wonderful resources that we have here at the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk. And I'm going to send this back over to Nicole to give us our next table.
Hey everyone, it's Nicole Carson again. I am sitting here with Neighborhood Alleys. They have Fund My Future and Still Smiling. This is Tony. Say hey. And this is Robin. All right, ladies. Ladies, tell me a little bit about your organization.
Okay, so Fund My Future, we're a children's savings program, and we help families get on the road to saving for their child's future. Your child can be as little as birth, as a baby, all the way up to age 18, and all you have to save is at least $1 a month, and no worries about that because we help you get that started. You don't need a savings account. You don't need to be saving. You come on to us and we'll get you saving. We'll meet you where you're at, and the best part about it is every month you get a chance to win money. You get a chance to win $1,000 or $50, and anyone who signs up today and takes a picture and send it to us, guess what? You get to be entered in our 5K campaign. We just reached our 5K. We got 5,000 families enrolled, 5,000 families saving for their child's future, and we want you to be one of those families saving for your child's future as well, because you can do it too, because we'll help you and we'll encourage you.
Thank you, Tony. Okay, Robin, tell me a little bit about Still Smiling, please.
Excuse me. So this is called Real Life in Action. So I'm Robin, I'm from Still Smiling, and we are an organization that focuses on Black mental health. We provide matches for clinicians. We also have a workforce development program called Beams to Bridges. We also have peer services, and we would love to have anyone who is struggling through mental health look us up, because Still Smiling will still be smiling as you continue through your recovery model.
I gotta tell you, as a mother, this sounds amazing. So if you get down here to this recovery walk, or if you're already here, you need to stop and see Tony and Robin. So I gotta tell you, we got a lot of folks watching at home, right? A lot of folks, maybe they're in recovery curious, all the things, but we especially have Gateway inpatient watching. What would you like to say to those guys and gals in Gateway?
I would like to say to the men and women in Gateway that guess what? You can do this, okay? You got this. You got this. You got all this support out here. You know, once you come out and you get into the real world, there's organizations and resources out here that's going to help you. So don't give up, because look around. There's a whole bunch of resources. Look at Still Smiling. We're here to help. And then Fund My Future, we're here to help you get that money together too. So you can do it. Hang in there. Your day's coming.
All right. That's right. You don't leave before the miracle, guys. Hang tight. Hang on to them seats. And the very last question, my favorite question. Give me what the Recovery Walk means to you in one word.
I'm cheating, but it means life changing. Woo!
Inclusive and all encompassing.
Yes, they said it. Tony and Robin, thank you ladies so much. All right, guys, we're going to take it back to Lance.
This is wonderful. I mean, what a great interview there with Neighborhood Allies. Such great advocates and friends doing so many wonderful things. And that's the wonderful part about the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk, is that it is a gathering. This is like a family reunion where everybody here, we're all just here because we believe in each other. We believe in family. We believe in the community working together in order to make sure that every single person is able to have their life count, because your life matters and your life counts. No matter where you are in your recovery journey, we want you to know that you're important and that your family, your friends, your community, everybody's cheering you on. And that's what this event is. It's just everywhere. There's just so much activity here today. And so maybe you've never been down to the Recovery Walk, and that's why we're showcasing a number of our various tables and resources. We're going to be doing a little bit of that more after our main stage acts, which are going to be coming up here in just a few moments. KP is going to be taking the stage here in just a few seconds, and we're going to be hearing all the individual stories, the storytellers. We're going to have the director of the Department of Drug and Alcohol Prevention, Dr. Latika Davis-Jones, is going to be here speaking a little bit. And then we can't forget about our main keynote speaker, Brian Cuban. We were so excited and honored. You know, it's a real privilege for us to be able to have that. Now, we know Brian's native to the community, but most importantly, his story is so significant and is something that you might not know about, but I hope you're going to learn a little bit about his story and everybody's story today. I like coming to the Recovery Walk because I like just learning and understanding how each and every person had such a unique and beautiful journey in their own recovery story. And their story is what gives them power. Your story is what gives you power. And whenever you'll be able to move forward into things that you're doing, regardless of what it is. So this is what the Recovery Walk stands for. Celebrating people, bringing people together, increasing the story, amplifying the story. You know, one of the other cool things that happens around here is during the Recovery Walk, when we actually go out and march into the streets, everyone makes signs. And we actually have a whole sign right over here. We have a whole sign making station. So people are making signs about how their journey and what was important to them. And so whenever you come out and, you know, you can stand on the sign lines and wave your sign, or you can march with your sign. And that's just all advocacy, strength, and support going on in this community. So many wonderful things happening right here at the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk. And so I'm just excited with all the life and support that's happening here. We couldn't ask for a more beautiful day either. This day has really brought us together and really made it so that we can each see together the wonderful things that's happening in our community. So you're seeing here, and I want you to hang on, because in just a few moments, we're going to be opening up our main stage. And our main stage today, we're going to be telling stories. We're going to be hearing keynote speakers. We're going to be learning about how to gain more access to recovery treatments and all kinds of wonderful things. So I'm so thankful that you're here watching with us. We're going to transition over at this time. So let's make way for the main stage at the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk.
Good morning, walkers, people in recovery for years, for days, for months. Thank you for being here to celebrate your recovery, the persons that you're with, the people that you're sitting next to that you don't even know. We are here to celebrate with you. Our first speaker, he's been with us for years. I know you love him and know him. Please welcome to the stage, KP.
Morning, everyone. I don't think I heard y'all. Good morning, everyone. It's a good day to recover, right? Okay. So thank you, Kelly, for that introduction. Thank you all for being here for the 2023 Pittsburgh Recovery Walk. And welcome to everyone who's tuning into our live stream. We have a live stream this year. So we're starting a little bit late. So there's quite a bit of thank yous here. There's a lot of people as you look around that made this event happen, a lot of important people here. So I'm going to read through these and I'm going to try to do it. It's going to kind of be quick like speed dating. Not that I know what that is, but just saying. So here we go. So many people. We want to thank UPMC and the UPMC Health Plan, the presenting sponsors. We want to thank all the sponsors who donated to the walk. This couldn't be possible without your donations. Really heartfelt thank you to those folks. If you want to show the walk some love, there's signs around and QR code that you can scan to donate to help out the walk. Totally free for everyone. Every dollar helps. We want to thank our speakers and storytellers. You're going to hear them in just a minute. We want to thank all the volunteers. There's a lot of them who make this event happen. This event is almost entirely volunteer run. I don't know if everybody knew that. If you see someone in a gold volunteer shirt, thank them. Give them some love. We can get around and applause for them. Can we get a huge round for them, please? All the folks you see in the yellow shirts, volunteering, helping out today. You see there's quite a few. Yep. We want to thank an amazing ASL interpreter, Michelle. I didn't even have to ask them for applause. That was the next line here, but we want to take a moment to wish a sweet Rosh Hashanah to all those celebrating the Jewish New Year today. What a better time in the season for renewal and celebrating recovery. Let me give you a little bit of an orientation to the event. As I hope you noticed, we have food trucks on site. I know some folks are hungry, so please take advantage of them. We also have free ice cold water, coffee, bananas, so help yourself. And I did say free, that's my favorite price. I don't know about you, just saying. We have a bounce house games and a photo booth for you to enjoy. You can visit the kids' tent for face painting, balloon animals, characters. This is all free thanks to our generous sponsors. I'm sure you've noticed that we have dozens and dozens of community groups here. Please visit them to learn about their work and their aid in recovery. This morning, we are going to celebrate 3 Pittsburgh Recovery Award winners and hear from a few fantastic speakers. We also have this year Brian Cuban as our keynote speaker. I think I also heard something about his brother kind of being famous too, but yeah, that's a thing. Around 11:30, we're shutting the streets down and doing the walk itself, which is about a mile long. Leading us this year will be the wonderful Munhall Community Band. If you're not a walker, stick around. Get a jump on the food, the trucks, and enjoy the resource fair and all the activities after the walk. Stick around for a dance party with DJ Kelly Burns. So I'm just gonna share a quick, I had a longer, and we're trying to make up some time here, and I was gonna tell you a little bit about myself, but mainly for me, recovery means a lot of things. And today, is an opportunity, just one more, to celebrate that. I've walked around and seen some familiar faces and a lot of partners that I have here in recovery, in this whole recovery thing, and there's some giants here today. And those giants I'm speaking of are actually you. This means so much to so many. I want to share one little short story, and you see how it relates to recovery. This is going to go back. Ask me how far back. Way back. All right, so here's the deal. Personally, for me, I didn't know what it was going to be. I'm a recovery coordinator, lead recovery coordinator for Western Psych, UPMC, and at 5 years old, I knew I just wanted to help people. I grew up feeling a lot and experienced a lot of pain, and I've had a lot of actually unhappy happy hours, and I think some of you know what I mean. When I was 5, there was this kids show, what seemed to be like and I've always loved animals, right? Do we have any animal friends, any animal lovers in the house here? Pet people? But there was these little sea turtles, and the mother would swim miles to make it to the beach to lay the eggs. And at midnight, she would start her journey forward in the sand, and she would have to go back, I think like maybe a fourth of a mile, to dig a hole and bury her eggs. And then make it back, and it would be like morning. It would be like 5 or 6 in the morning by the time she has to make it back to the water. And it was this far journey, this huge journey that this mama tortoise, and this was gonna make her vulnerable, right? She was gonna be at risk from a lot of things whenever she made it back. But she makes it back to the water, and it's sometime later they show these little baby turtle, the sea turtles are so cute. Sea turtles are amazing, and they show them, and they're hatching, and some of them, if they go the wrong way and they don't go to the water, they're not gonna make it. The other ones are trying to make it to the water, but it was really sad because 7 to 8 out of 10 of them would get eaten by pelicans and seagulls, right? And this is a kid show, right? I'm bawling my eyes out, I'm bawling. And my mother, who I call Gangsta Mama, she actually said to me, she came in and seen me 5 years old crying, and she said, "Boy, why are you watching that? Why don't you turn that off?" And I wouldn't. So she went and she did dishes, and she came back, and I was still watching it, and I was still crying. So they showed a lot of reruns, and this was on PBS, and they showed a lot of reruns. And a week or two later, they showed it again, and I was watching it again. And she seen me crying again. And it was the same show, not a different one, it was the same show. And she said, "That's the same turtles. These aren't even new turtles getting eaten. These are the same ones that's already happened. Why?" And I'm standing there crying again. She said, "Why are you doing it?" And I told her something that she's still proud of me for this day. And it brings us to what we're celebrating today. She said, "Why would you watch that? It's so painful. Why would you watch that?" And I said, "I watched it, Mom, because some of them made it. I watched it for the ones that made it. And it would be worth my pain to be in the presence of pain, to be in the presence of greatness, and see it when we all make it." There are folks who are not with us today. We also spend this time to keep their memories alive and celebrate all that they have done and all that they have brought as well. So thank you for letting me share that. I know some of you were like, "Where is he going with that?" Yeah, keep up with me, keep up. I move quick sometimes. Now I am going to introduce a big supporter of the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk, City Councilman Bruce Cross. Bruce Cross. We love having Bruce here, and little nostalgic moment we had. And born and raised on the South Side, began serving as a member of the Pittsburgh City Council January 7th. That was 2008. Bruce proudly represents Pittsburgh's 3rd Council District. Bruce Cross is a long-term recovery himself, and he's one of the leaders of the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk. Love again, please. Hands together. Bruce has been instrumental in creating and building this event. On behalf of the walk, we want to wish Bruce the very best on his upcoming retirement after serving 16 years on City Council. Just because you're retiring from council, we hope you're not retiring from us. Bruce is going to present the 2023 Pittsburgh Recovery Awards. Please join me in welcoming Bruce.
I am not Bruce. He is much more handsome, but I need to jump in front of him to make a quick announcement. The silver Nissan with the plate LNR 1985 that I let unload on Waterfront Place. You need to move your vehicle immediately. This is a private street and it will be towed. Do you see it? Jump up and down so I know you hear me. But yes, please, immediately, if not sooner, need you to move your vehicle, silver Nissan LNR 1985. I personally let you pull over to unload, so yes. And now, without further ado, Bruce.
Priorities, thank you. Good morning. Hey, good morning, everyone. This is the 8th time we've done this. 8 years, and we could not have done it without you, so give yourself an applause. It's been wonderful. Now, So, my name is Bruce Krause, and one day at a time, working a 12-step program, depending on my fellow members of recovery community. I have been blessed now without having taken a drink or a drug since July the 9th of 1988. And yeah. So through the grace of God and the support of my friends here, this year I celebrated 35 years of sobriety. Yeah, it blows my mind. It really blows my mind. I can't believe it happened. But it didn't happen in a vacuum, you know? I was no different than anybody else here that is one day sober. When I was shaking and on the verge of tears and standing outside my first AA meeting wondering, what the hell am I going to do? So that's the only thing I can leave you with really is that what we have is this moment in time. We have today, and tomorrow's gone, and yesterday is gone, and tomorrow has yet to be revealed. And so in this very moment of where we are here and now, you know, we thank our higher power, and we celebrate the fact that we're here, collected together, and celebrating the wonders of sobriety. So, I have to thank UPMC and UPMC Health Plan. It was no small feat trying to find somebody that would sponsor this. We were an unknown entity. And UPMC from the very beginning has stepped up and said, we believe in the importance of recovery and we're here to help. And they have helped as our primary sponsor every year. And we're going to hold them to doing it every year forward as well. There's also, thank you. There are also so many other sponsors. I believe a total of 50 in all that have participated here to make this event today. And so with the most sincere thanks I can offer, I want to thank you. I want to thank the volunteers that came out. And I want to give you a round of applause for what you've done. So now it is my honor to present our Recovery Awards. Every year we recognize 3 people. As you know, we opened the nominations for the Pittsburgh Recovery Awards this summer. We received a number of outstanding submissions, and these 3 winners received the highest scores of our scoring committee, and today we will be honoring them if they are here. You're here? Yes, thank you. Okay, so the 2023 Recovery Advocate Award is Mr. Dennis Haynes. Dennis brings his personal recovery experience to work every day as a senior peer navigator at UPMC Western Psychiatric Hospital Center for Psychiatric and Chemical Dependency Services. Some people here clearly know you and appreciate you. His job has wide-ranging responsibilities, providing support to individuals in all stages of recovery, facilitating warm handoffs from area hospitals, coordinating with members of the interdisciplinary team, completing clinical documentation, and serving as a representative of the recovery community, just to name a few. And during the most isolated days of the global pandemic, with potential clients facing long wait lists, he created a peer-run support group to connect people while they were waiting for services. He is loved and admired by clients, peers, and colleagues. Dennis's nominator said, not only is he hardworking and passionate about his work, he is also one of the kindest, warmest, happiest people you'll ever meet. It is unusual to see Dennis without a smile on his face, and his positivity is infectious. So Dennis, on behalf of the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk, and in my role as a member of Pittsburgh City Council, I thank you for your recovery advocacy. Please accept this proclamation from Pittsburgh City Council that recognizes your extraordinary efforts. Okay. So, thank you. Thank you. All right, you have to say something. Nope, you have to say something, please.
Virginia Beach, we're in the house. I'd like to first thank my family that drove up here 1 o'clock this morning and got here at 5 o'clock. I don't know how the hell you did it, bro. Must have been a plane or something. We're here. DC's in the house also. Thank you, Unc. I want to thank you guys for recognizing me for this award today, but the real winners are the individuals sitting right here in this arena right now. That's the real winners. Continuing to struggle and fight every day. We are soldiers, all right? And for the ones that are not here, we recognize them as well. I'd like to thank you all. Continue to keep up the good work. Love you all. Thank you.
Okay, the second award is for our outstanding recovery caregiver. This is a person who provides outstanding direct care to people with addiction. The 2023 Recovery Caregiver Award winner is Alyssa Mainhart. Oh. Good morning. How are you? I'm good, thank you. So let me take a moment to tell you a little bit about her work. Alyssa began her recovery journey in July of 2012. She has truly undergone a profound transformation in this process, from a starting point of incarceration and homelessness. In recovery, she has earned a degree in social work, winning numerous scholarships and honors in the process. Today, she is a substance use counselor for the Foundation's medical services. Foundations provide methadone treatment to people diagnosed with opiate use disorder. This is particularly impactful because she herself was a client of the very same methadone clinic for 2 years at the beginning of her journey. She's known for going above and beyond for her clients, doing whatever it takes to remove barriers to people getting the help that they need. And whether it's financial barriers, communication barriers, public assistance barriers, she fights alongside her clients to overcome them. Alyssa's nomination for this award said, her nominator for the award said, she has a presence that people are attracted to and they listen to her. When she tells her story and talks to others, she does not hold back from speaking about uncomfortable topics such as stigma, harm reduction, medications, and her own personal journey. So Alyssa, on behalf of the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk, and in my role as a member of Pittsburgh City Council, I thank you, we thank you for your recovery service And please accept this proclamation from City Council that recognizes your extraordinary efforts. Thank you. I'm a hugger. Thank you so much. Congratulations. You want your son to come up? Please come up as well.
Thank you guys so much. This is my son Gunnar. He's been a huge supporter and everything. What he said, I actually found out I was pregnant with him while I was in jail. So he's been with me this whole time. This is amazing. Oh my gosh, just to see all of us together. Like if this isn't recovery, then I don't know what recovery is. And if anything, this shows that like we are human and we're worthy and we matter in this community. And we're not gonna stop until we're heard and I don't know, we're just gonna support each other. But thank you. I don't really know what else to say because he came up because I was nervous. So thank you all so much, and I wouldn't be able to do this without you.
Tyler? Is it Tyler? Gunnar, would you like to say a few words? You're welcome to. Gunnar's going to say a few words too.
I like beans.
Thank you. Out of the mouths of babes. Okay, our third award is for a recovery pathway supporter. This is a person who has worked to broaden the range of recovery pathways available to us all here in the greater Pittsburgh area. The 2023 Recovery Pathway Supporter winner is Kevin Cowles. Did I say that correct? Did I say that right, Cowles? Thank you. So Ken is a person in long-term recovery and currently the Community Leadership Initiative Center Assistant at Butler County Community College. That's a hell of a title. It is. Where he helps assist the college in its plan to help improve the lives of those living in our community. He also works with the college to promote the Hope is Dope program, educating the community about the brain science of addiction and recovery in order to reduce stigma while increasing community support. Ken regularly speaks at local inpatient and outpatient groups about his own experiences overcoming substance use disorders and also speaks to students taking social work classes. He serves on the Butler County Opiate Overdose Coalition, the Robbins Home Board of Directors, and the Butler Collaborative for Families. He is also a personal empowerment facilitator. His nominator for this award said, he has long been an advocate of the proper use of harm reduction techniques and alternative pathways to recovery in a time when people trying to improve their lives are stigmatized often by our own community. Ken, on behalf of the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk, and in my role as a counselor on Pittsburgh City Council, I thank you for your support of recovery pathways, and please accept this proclamation from Pittsburgh City Council that recognizes your efforts. Okay. You're welcome. No, thank you. Pleasure's all mine. Please say something.
Okay. Thank you. I want to say that I'm very humbled to receive this award because I never thought that I would get an award just for doing what I thought was right, which is sharing my own experience and the knowledge that I've learned in hopes that people find recovery while other people stop being so judgmental. In my 10-year battle with finding recovery from opiates, I tried everything. I looked into religion, 12-step programs. I took methadone and Suboxone on 2 different occasions. I studied psychology and the neuroscience of addiction, just trying to figure out what was wrong with my brain. I was trying to find a cure. And what I found was that there is no cure, but the healing, everything we have to heal is already inside of us. All those different things were just tools for me to discover what was already inside. So now I get to talk about religion and spirituality with my friends in Celebrate Recovery. I get to talk about the neuroscience of addiction and recovery with the community through the Hope is Dope program. I get to talk about the positive experiences that I had with methadone and Suboxone to community and government leaders who make decisions about how we're treated. And that's just, it blows my mind that I have the opportunity to do that. And I just want to say that when you're comfortable, recovering out loud really makes a big difference in the community. Thank you.
You know, I'd just like to take a moment to touch on one remark that Ken made, and that is that everything that we need to find our recovery is already within us. One of the things I learned very early on in my journey was a definition of addiction that I have come to embrace over these last 35 years. And I truly believe that it is our inability to know, love, accept, and understand ourselves for exactly who and what higher power created us to be. And I believe our journey is really that of self-discovery and coming into that oneness with ourselves, with our community, and with our higher power. And so with that, I wish you all only the very, very best in your journeys, and that today will be the very best day that you've experienced in your journey in recovery. Okay. Let's see. Now I get to introduce our next speaker. Yes? Good. Please come up. Okay. It is now my honor to introduce our next speaker, Pennsylvania Secretary of Drug and Alcohol Programs, Dr. Latika Davis-Jones. Dr. Davis-Jones is a true friend of the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk, having spoken at the very first one back in 2016 before the world fell apart, when she was an administrator at the Allegheny County Bureau of Drug and Alcohol Services. Her distinguished career over the last 25 years is a testament to her unwavering commitment to improving the lives of individuals like us all gathered here today living with substance use disorders. Secretary Davis-Jones, we are honored to have you here again today. Everyone, please join me in welcoming Latika back to the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk. Can I hug you? I'm a hugger. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now I'll get out of your way.
All right. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Councilman. It's a beautiful day to be here in the city of Pittsburgh celebrating recovery. Let's give it up. Happy Recovery Month. As mentioned, I've been here many times before, but I must say that this year is a little extra special for me. It definitely feels like a homecoming of sorts. You know, the last 8 months of my life have definitely been a whirlwind, and as a proud member of Governor Josh Shapiro's cabinet, it is an honor, a true honor to be here today, coming home to Pittsburgh as your secretary for the Department of Drug and Alcohol Programs. So, you know, while I'm here as a leader for the state's drug and alcohol agency, I am here for each and every one of you. Recovery Month is a reminder that everyone in recovery, their loved ones and their support system, are never alone in this journey to and through recovery. Recovery is for everyone, right? Every person, every family, every community, and every person in the city of Pittsburgh and Allegheny County and beyond. I believe in that, and I assure you that everyone in my department is dedicated to supporting that journey as well. I want you to know that all of us at DDAP live by that every day in the work that we do, and I would like to give you a few quick examples on how we do that. Number one, we have staff devoted solely to recovery services within our Bureau of Program Oversight. This is new to our department this past spring. Number two, we recently funded 9 regional recovery hubs in every region of the state. We are funding those recovery hubs up to $500,000 each. So let's give it up for those recovery hubs. And number 3, we are establishing regional equity coalitions that will strive to achieve equitable access to recovery supports and treatment services for individuals across the Commonwealth. So DDAP is definitely devoted to recovery, and I can assure you of that. I would like to close with a message that each and every last one of you can share. We do know that taking that first step on the road to recovery is often the hardest step, but it's also the bravest step. And I would like you to share that Pennsylvania has a Get Help Now hotline. That hotline is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year for anyone who needs help taking that first step. The number is 1-800-662-HELP or 1-800-662-4357. Someone is always available to pick up that phone, so please share this information with anyone that needs help. The number again is 1-800-662-HELP. And thank you. And just remember that every time you show up for events like this, you're breaking down stigma for those with mental health and substance use conditions. And just remember, we all that know that recovery is not only possible, we know that it's probable. There is hope. So please keep coming back, keep telling your stories. We see you, we hear you, and other people need to see and hear you too. So thank you. And so now I'm pleased to introduce my colleague, the Chief Psychiatric Officer for the Pennsylvania Department of Human Services and the Medical Director for the Office of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services, Dr. Del Adair. In these roles, he brings substantial clinical expertise to both offices. He provides input and guidance into the policies that shape mental health and substance use treatment throughout the Commonwealth. Please give a warm welcome to Dr. Del Adair. Thank you.
Good morning. I don't think I heard anybody. Good morning. Thank you. You know, I've been here since 8:30, so I need that to kind of help keep me going. This is my actual first time at the Recovery Walk. I can guarantee you that it will not be my last. As I've been walking around and looking at the various resources that are here, some of them I am familiar with, but it was really good to see that there are resources that I was not aware of, because I think that is very important for the greater Pittsburgh community. I am here on behalf of Jen Smith. She is currently expecting and unable to be here, so I was asked to come and say a few words. I am not going to talk very long. I view part of my job as getting you back on schedule. So, you know, I'm basically just going to say two things. One is when I think of recovery, my brain automatically goes to hope and an individual's journey. And I think those are two very important aspects
of the reason why all of you are here. So I want you to know that my office supports the Recovery Walk and supports all of you in your journey to recovery and in recovery. With that, as I said, I'm not going to talk very long, so I'm going to end there. Thank you for having me, and I appreciate being here with you. Thank you.
Another big round of applause for all of our presenters here today. I want to say a quick thing. You know, one of the things that's really helpful and one of the things that allows people to see hope is having a recovery role model, right? Somebody who's been there, done it, lived it. We often use the word peer, right? And one of the things that peers do is we intentionally make ourselves vulnerable by sharing our story. We intentionally make ourselves vulnerable to provide hope for other people and to validate other people. And that's not always easy. I'm only saying that to say that, you know, public speaking is America's greatest fear. When you see folks come up for awards, you see folks come up to speak, it's not often easy. But we're so proud of them, right? And their recovery and their accomplishments, and all of you are out here, we're so proud of them. So that intention of having somebody there and you being able to share your story and what you've been through, it's an act, it's such a selfless act, and it warms my heart every time I see it. You know, so whenever seeing people do it up here, it's so appropriate, and I love it to death. And one of the things about community, this is our community. You take a look around, this is our recovery community, and we're very proud of it. One of the things that allows me to be able to make myself vulnerable and talk about not just the what, but how it feels, what it looks like, what you're going through on an earthly level, is having the support of all of you and so many people. Today, I see out in the crowd here, I see some of my own peers, people who have also shared with me and allowed me to be able to do the things that I do. And Dennis was one of them. We give another round. You know, and I've seen Justin and Breon and Sonia and Lexa, and all of you guys are amazing. One of the other reasons why I'm so strong is in the front row here, my beautiful wife, Laura, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, my sister-in-law. They are amazing. When I'm nervous, when I'm scared to move forward, their love lifts me. It brings me closer to my goals and the things that I want to do. And this great family that I have just does so much for my own heart. So thank you, Dr. Adair. And now it's time for our keynote speaker. We're really excited to have him here. He's an attorney, author, advocate, recovery, and mental health awareness. He's also Pittsburgh native and person in long-term recovery. Please join me in welcoming Brian Cuban.
Thank you so much. What a great day to celebrate recovery in all its pathways, and also to celebrate those who are even just thinking about recovery, because that is the first step, isn't it? As it was for me. And it's always good to come back home, being born and raised in Mount Lebanon. So thank you for having me. Now, I want everyone, we're going to take the hot tub time machine back to June 2006. The Dallas Mavericks, the NBA's Dallas Mavericks, are going to the championship for the first time. My brother Mark had bought the team in January of 2000, and we had had some success, but this was our first trip to the big show. And as you might imagine, I was going to get some pretty good seats for those games. I also had the opportunity to get a couple tickets for friends. I called up my brother. He said, "Sure, Bri, come on over." I got them. Do you think I gave them to my friends? Nah. You're probably thinking I sold them on eBay for some astronomical amount, right? Thinking like a lawyer. I didn't do that either, because that would have been disrespectful to Mark, to the team, to the city. I took those 2 tickets and I traded them to my cocaine dealer for $1,000 in cocaine. Selling them on eBay was disrespectful, but trading them to my cocaine dealer, perfectly acceptable. How the mind works in addiction. My dealer shows up at my house. I was high class, he delivered. I give him the tickets. He gives me this giant baggie of cocaine. I go running up to my home office. I dump it out on the desk looking at it like I'm Scarface. I wanted to go rub my nose in it. And of course, I bought it for a reason. I take the dollar bill, roll it up. And cocaine users, we're a funny bunch, especially in pandemic times, right? You use the Purell, you wash your hands in a bathroom, but we'll stick a dollar bill up our nose that's been used by God knows who and has God knows what on it. Go figure. But cocaine had long stopped giving me the feeling of self-love and acceptance that I had achieved when I did it in a bathroom in Dallas, Texas for the first time in 1987, and instantly became psychologically addicted to the feeling of loving myself for the first time in my life. Looking in the mirror and all of a sudden, ooh, that guy is good looking, that guy is cool. Because without it, all I saw was this fat monster. It also came a bit of paranoia. There must have been a speed cut in it because I get all paranoid and I think the cops are outside. Woo, woo, woo. I go peeking out my nailed shut curtains. There's no one out there. So I take the cocaine, I hide it in one of my closets, and I drive to a home improvement store where I buy electrical faceplate outlets, a drill, and a saw. I go back to my house and I go to the drywall in each closet, and I cut these fake electrical outlets in the drywall. And I hide the cocaine behind all these fake electrical outlets, slap the outlets on, close it up thinking I'm the smartest lawyer ever. Like the DEA, the cops, and the drug dogs have never thought of that one before. So I line out some more, and again, just pain and shame and paranoia. I think I hear the cops outside again. They're not there. About an hour and a half later, I go to each electrical outlet again. I take it all back out. I go to my bathroom and flush it down the toilet. Now it's $900 worth of cocaine. The next morning comes, I wake up. Wait a minute. Brian, you didn't. I flushed it all down the toilet. I'm an idiot. There's another game tonight. I call Mark. I get 2 more tickets. I call my dealer. He shows up at my house. He said, dude, you did all that last night? I don't want to tell him I flushed it down the toilet like a moron. I said, yes, I did it all. Give me more. Okay, here you go. Rinse, wash, repeat. I run back up to my home office, dump it out on the desk. One more time. Line it out. Get all paranoid again. Hide it again behind the electrical outlets. And now it's about 2.5 hours later. I'm thinking, man, okay, I did go to law school. I have a bit of cocaine in my house and I can go to prison. So I'll just flush it down the toilet again. I go to that same bathroom. I drop to my knees like I had done so many times before in active addiction, praying or hoping for someone or something to remove the pain and remove the shame and allow me to love myself for who I am, and flush it down the toilet again. They say when Dallas flushes, it runs downhill to Houston. So some people in Houston may have had a little hop in their step those 2 nights. The quote-unquote insanity of addiction, right? But we know it is not doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. But we know it is not insane. It's a biological brain-based process with a lot of behavioral aspects that affects so many of us. And for me, it wasn't just a cocaine. As an 18-year-old at Penn State University, I transitioned into full-blown alcohol use disorder, alcoholism, the label. By the time I went through that in law school as well. By the time I was 26, I was addicted to cocaine. By the time I was 44, my first of 2 trips to a psychiatric hospital after a near-suicide attempt, jail, 3 failed marriages, 1 more, I get a free set of steak knives. And then finally, lost my career, and then finally, recovery, Easter weekend 2007. Thank you. How does that happen? How does a baby boomer growing up in the era when cell phones were 2 cups attached to a string, back when social networking was playing kickball and dodgeball on the basketball blacktop, when going viral meant 15 kids in the lunchroom knew you had a crush on a girl? How does that young boy grow up to be someone who hated himself so much that couldn't stand that reflection that he saw no alternative but to end his life by suicide in 2005 and used cocaine and alcohol, so first to see someone different and also so I didn't have to feel it all? Well, let's go back to that time, growing up in Mount Lebanon, PA. I'm the middle of 3 boys. Mark is the oldest. I have a younger brother, Jeff. Mark, as you might have guessed, was outgoing, selling this door to door, selling that door to door. I remember our local newspaper with the Pittsburgh Press and the Post-Gazette, back when we had 2, went on strike, and they actually delivered a paper. They went on strike, and Mark and his buddies drove out to Cleveland, bought the Cleveland Plain Dealer, drove him back to Pittsburgh, and sold him up on Grant Street for twice what he paid for him. He was kind of entrepreneurial, and you knew what he was going to be. My younger brother, Jeff, was a nationally ranked wrestler in Mount Lebanon, beer parties, jock, dates, prom, all the things I associated with self-love and acceptance. Unfortunately, I was classic middle child syndrome. I was shy, I was withdrawn, and I was a heavy kid. And I internalized anything negative said to me and about me and wore it as who I was like a skin-tight suit. I trended towards obese, and I was bullied severely in high school. There's often trauma. When we suffer from addiction, there's often a correlation to some form of trauma. And going to Jefferson Junior High in Mount Lebanon and Mount Lebanon High School, I was bullied without mercy. And I remember, who's seen Saturday Night Fever? Anybody? This is a young crowd. Okay, let's see a show of hands. So you know John Travolta in those skin-tight pants. Believe it or not, Mark used to teach disco downtown at this place called Odyssey. And he would come home in these flowered bell-bottom pants and platform shoes. One day he brings home this pair of bell-bottom, satin gold bell-bottom pants. And he says, Brian, you can have these if you want. And I say, thank you, Mark. We're very close. My brother's given me something. But Mark wasn't a big guy. I was heavy. I had to jump up and down, spray the water bottle. My butt looked like 15 cats trying to get out. But I didn't care. I wore these pants to school when the kids just bullied me. And I was kind of like the sad clown, and self-deprecating. Yeah, if I'm the sad clown, they'll invite me in and it'll be like a hazing and I'll be one of them. But that's not how bullying works. One day I'm walking home with these kids wearing my shiny bell-bottom gold disco pants, just tight, but I didn't care, stomach hanging out. And they're making fun, and we're walking along this sidewalk. And it's about a mile walk from the junior high to where my parents' house on Bower Hill Road in Mount Lebanon. And one of the kids starts making fun of the pants. Another one pulls at the zipper, and it just rips just a little bit. Another one goes, ooh, and he pulls some more and tears it down the middle. And the next thing I knew, these kids were like rabid dogs. They jumped on me. They physically assaulted me. They tore off and shredded my shiny gold bell-bottom disco pants, threw them out into Bower Hill Road, busy street, if you know Bower Hill, and went on high-fiving and like they had done the funniest thing ever. Down to my Fruit of the Loom tighty whities, my Pittsburgh Pirates t-shirt, my 3-ring tube socks, and my Keds tennis shoes. Back in the day when 3 rings were the thing, right? I gathered up the shreds and I waddled home, and the worst part of this trek home were the stoplights. Every stoplight, I'm there in my underwear, covering up my privates with the shreds, and people are just looking. And I finally make it home. The house is empty. I go down into the basement. And I love it being home in Pittsburgh because everyone knows what a basement is. You talk about basements in Dallas, Texas, unless they're from the East, like, what? What is that? There are no basements in Dallas. And I thought every step down into the basement, I felt like it reverberated out into the world where everyone knew my shame. To my father, who was fixing cars on West Liberty Avenue, to my mother who was selling real estate, to my brothers doing whatever they were doing. And the only way to bury that shame was bury the shreds. So I found a wastebasket, buried them below all the newspapers, thinking that would be the end of it. But that's not how trauma works, is it? Trauma remembers. Trauma threads through life. And it can often have a way of manifesting itself in destruction and self-destruction. Not for everyone. That's why there's a difference between cause and correlation. And for me, that trauma, this fat pig I always saw in the mirror, kind of took hold that day. And I remember thinking that's the way it's always going to be. I'm never going to be loved by anyone. I'm never going to get married. I'm never going to kiss a girl. I'm never going to love myself. And that little boy followed me to Penn State University, where I began drinking heavily to mute that boy. And I remember the closest I ever came to recovery at Penn State was walking into a hamburger joint, drunk of course, and coming across a rack of pamphlets that the 12-step groups put out. And it's called the 20 Questions. I don't know if they still do that. And they put them in the bars and the hamburger joints. And it's geared towards college students. Answer these questions, check off yes, and if you check out enough of them, do you black out? Yes, and all these things, you might call us, right? You might have a problem. Call this number. Come see us. And I'm checking off yes to all of them, and I'm just a college student, 2 points. We all drink, my tryout for the Mavs. And that was it. I went to class drunk. I was drinking alone in my dorm. I was drinking outside the bars to go in and get drunker. But I managed to get through Penn State, and I decided to go to Pitt Law. Why? Not because I wanted to be a lawyer, but because law school is 3 years. And I can go and I can drink and I can do all the same things I did to survive at Penn State. Not a good reason for going to law school. So I went to Pitt Law, walked in the doors as an alcoholic. You can't do all the same things. And I didn't do very well as a law student, but I did graduate. But it did all come back around in a serendipitous way. Back in 2021, they invited me back to keynote their commencement, and I wore the cap and gown for the first time. So that was nice. Thank you. I graduated and took a Greyhound bus to Dallas, Texas, where my brother Mark met me, thinking that would help me, being with my two brothers. I moved in with them. And it was like throwing gasoline on a fire. They're young, they're out partying. And then I discovered the one thing, for the first time in my life, the one thing that allowed me to look in the mirror and fondly love myself: cocaine. Cocaine and alcohol, took over my life as a practicing lawyer. I lost my career as a lawyer. I lost all my clients. And here's where privilege comes in. I would be disingenuous not to acknowledge the substantial privilege I have enjoyed, both skin color, socioeconomic, last name, having a very wealthy brother willing to do anything for me so I wasn't on the street. Very few people enjoy that, and it would be wrong for me not to acknowledge that. But it was still addiction, right? They say addiction doesn't discriminate in terms of who it can strike, but it does kind of discriminate based on demographics, hitting different demographics in different ways. And so I lost my career. I was literally living with my brother supporting me. And then Easter weekend 2000, the 3 failed marriages, jail. And Easter weekend 2007, my wife, now wife, then girlfriend, moved in with me. She didn't know anything about my issues. She goes away, comes home one day. I was thinking I'll go out, party, and be cleaned up when she gets back. She left on a Friday. All of a sudden, it's Sunday, and I'm lying in bed. There's cocaine everywhere. She's looking down at me, thinking, did I walk into the right house? I'm looking around trying to explain, thinking how I can explain this Law and Order episode, Orgy of Evidence, that I just might not be the person I represented myself to be, the respected lawyer, sober lawyer. I couldn't. All I can think of was running home to, metaphorically, mama. So I said, take me back and name the psychiatric facility where I had been in 2005 when I came close to suicide, and my brothers dragged me down there the first time. She said, "What, you've been to a psychiatric hospital? We'll talk about that later." I just need time to think of a lie, a better lie. So we get down there, and I'm standing in the parking lot for the second time. And that's when I finally decided, you know what? I can't do this anymore. There won't be a third trip here. I'll be dead. And why then and not the first time I was there? I don't know. If I could figure that out, right, I'd win the Nobel Prize. But I was ready. I was finally ready to begin the journey after all of that. And I'm thinking, okay, Amanda's, her name's Amanda. She's gone. She'll leave. Well, she didn't leave. I'd have left. She stood by me, and we dated for over a decade while I rebuilt the broken trust. And I had to do it for me, right? I couldn't do it for her, for my cats, I've lost both my parents in recovery, because trauma happens, and it can be a trigger for relapse. It had to be for me to survive all of that. And so the next day I walked into the rooms of 12-Step, and that was my path. There are so many wonderful pathways to recovery. My path was 12-Step, and I was only offered treatment or 12-Step. That's it. There was no other path. And it was the right path for me because I wasn't going to do one line of Coke and one drink. That just wasn't happening, right? I wasn't going to harm reduce down to a half gram of cocaine a day. It had to be abstinence for me. And so when I sat in that chair for the first time, April 8, 2007, I didn't know what, I wasn't thinking alcoholic. I wasn't thinking recovery. My thought was, if sitting in this chair will, for the first time in my life, allow me to wake up in the morning, walk to the mirror, birthday suit naked, look at that guy and say, and love that guy without the aid of alcohol or cocaine, I'll do that. And I sat and I sat and I sat. And it's still sitting today. Whatever your pathway, do that. I'm in psychiatric counseling today. I take antidepressants for my major depressive disorder, which exists separately from my addiction issues. And I'm going to leave you with this. Wherever you go in life, because I've seen this especially in the legal profession, we suffer from alcohol use disorder at over twice the rate of the general public. Wherever you go in life, when you see someone that's struggling, and I know this audience for the most part gets it, don't be afraid to ask two questions in your conversation if you think something's up. Are you okay? And before that conversation breaks, the two ask rule. Number two, do you know if you want to talk, I am here for you? And if you're really worried, add the third one. Are you really okay? And I encourage you to practice that in your daily lives. Thank you for having me. It's such an honor to speak and always wonderful to come home. Thank you.
It's getting kind of hectic. It's getting kind of hectic. It's getting kind of hectic. I just want to see if y'all, it's a throwback, right? I just wanted to see if y'all remember that one, see if you're still awake. Wow, that was an incredible recovery story, right? Clap your hands if you know that recovery is a journey. It is not one thing, it's not one time, it's not one day. There's so many things that make up recovery. It's not just one thing. Another thing I'm so thankful that Brian brought up and touched on was trauma, right? That's the thing that's not talked about. It's so difficult to talk about, and yet it's the reason we often self-medicate, right? There's so much of it, right? So, and it's interesting too, because I think that sometimes while we're focusing on behavior, it'll take away from the empathy. Because there's a reason why, there's a story, there's circumstances, and then there's often the pain and the trauma that people go through. So I just give everybody credit for being here, and all of the people, all of our storytellers that are about to come up. And so thank you, Brian Cuban. Another round for Brian. Thank you so much for sharing this amazing message of hope. Now it's time for our first storytellers. We're doing something a little different. We're hearing from a husband and wife team. We have a recovery tag team. This is real right here. You know, we're promising big things today. All right, so they are both people in recovery. Please join me in a warm welcome for John Riznicek and Sandy Solinsky.
It's good. All right, good morning, everybody.
Good morning. I was about to do the Running Man when KP was up here rapping.
Right. I don't know. We decided to once we got asked to speak, it was an honor, right? And I was really nervous, and I still am today, right? I didn't know where to begin my story.
By your name?
My name is John Riznicek, and I've been incarcerated for over 22 years. That's my life. In and out of institutions, not knowing how to live. You know, my drug addiction started back in the 80s when I was a kid. You know, it was normal. In my family, it was normal to use drugs and alcohol. That's how I learned how to cope with things. And then, you know, everybody in my family like fights and stuff like that, my neighborhood, you know. And that led me to like a lot of poor decisions on my part. That's what landed me in prison. And I had this whole idea of what prison was supposed to be like, and it was rough. It was rough for me. I didn't take advantage of programs and things like that. I ended up doing 14 years in Ohio, and then I came out here. Altogether, I've been in 8 different institutions in 2 different states. The last time I was incarcerated, I had to really get honest with myself. I didn't want to live like this anymore, you know, and I didn't know how or where to begin. So I did one thing when I was at Western Penitentiary up here. I sent a letter to the psychiatrist there. I said, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I need some help. And that was probably the scariest thing that I've ever done in my life, was say that I need help and I don't know what I'm doing. Today, I still don't know what I'm doing. I still ask for help, right? Me saying that led me into a life of treatment, mental health, right? Treatment for my drug addiction, and just having a peace. You know, my brother asked me when I got out this last time, he said, what's wrong with you that you think you don't deserve peace and joy in your life? I really had to look at that question. I didn't know the answer to it. Some people say, like, you know, the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. I was scared to look over the fence, you know? I was terrified to look over the fence because all my life I've only known drugs, violence, and just running the streets, basically. But today, I met a woman, my wife, Sandy. And, you know, she did something for me that I thought was impossible. And that was like to show me what really unconditional love is. Like I told her when we met, you know, I told her about my criminal history and stuff, because most of the time that scares people away. But it didn't. She was like, is that all? And I'm like, yeah, you know, okay, so we go from here, right? And then, you know, she's helped me. She's been instrumental in helping me, teaching me, and vice versa. I've been teaching her, and she's learned off of me. And it's been like a great partnership. She's actually become my closest and best friend in the world. And it's the only woman that my mother ever liked. I just had to throw that in there. She tells me that all the time. I love Sandy. So today I looked at my life, and I work in the natural gas business right now. And I never thought that I would even get an opportunity. I never thought I would have a career, a rewarding career, let alone financial security. These were all things that eluded me for so many years. Employment was the biggest obstacle for me, meaningful employment. And I think, there's people out there that struggle just like I struggled, but haven't had the courage yet to ask for help. Because for a man, that's a tough thing for me to admit, that I'm struggling and that I have a problem. And having that courage to do that really, really, truly changed my life and changed the course of my life. And today I'm truly blessed and grateful for the people that have come into my life too. All right. Here's my wife.
Hey everyone, how you doing? It's so awesome. My first recovery walk was 2017, and to watch it grow over the years has been amazing. This is a great turnout. I actually want to give a shout out to the Recovery Walk Committee. Give them a round of applause, because without them, we couldn't do this. So like they said, my name is Sandy Solinsky, and I am a woman in long-term recovery. What that means for me today is I haven't had a chaotic relationship with any substances since March 8th of 2011. Yeah, so 12 years of roller coaster rides, up and down, sideways, get on a merry-go-round, all over the place, right? Just like everybody else, I used drugs to the point of which I thought was no return. And the last time that I actually didn't want to get high was the first time that I remembered using against my will. And as I sat on the edge of my bed, the only thing I could think about is like where my life had gone. And in all this chaos, I was actually raising a son. I thought I would love to stand up here and say I was this great mother and I took care of him, and that I was present. Like, I was there physically, but mentally I wasn't there. And, I came to recovery when he was 10 years old, and he was upset with me. He was upset. And I don't know anybody else's journey, but my journey is inpatient. Got out of inpatient. They told me I had to go to a partial program, and that was hardcore. 8 hours a day, Monday through Thursday, and then, hey, go to a meeting every day. I did IOP, OP, and then aftercare as well. And, then I found a mutual aid meeting, and I ran with that. It was a 12-step recovery, and I just kept running. I went to meetings. I talked to people. I got involved. I did a whole bunch of things and surrounded myself in recovery, because one thing I was scared. I was scared of what was out there. What I was doing before coming into recovery was leading me down a pathway that was mental health. I was mad at the world. I hated everybody that talked to me. I destroyed everybody's life around me, including my own. I was mad. This disease of addiction runs in my family. It's taken my dad's life. It's taken a couple of my brother's lives, very violently and tragically. And today, I get to live a life that's peaceful, serenity. I'm part of my son's life today. He actually calls me and wants to hang out with me. And the other day, he actually called me and said, "Mom, you want to go to dinner?" And I thought he was going to tell me something like, "Hey, I'm getting married. Hey, I'm having a baby." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh." And he's like, "No, I just wanted to hang out with you." And I'm like, what a blessing. My son at 23 years old still wants to hang out with his mother, Yeah. He has been my biggest supporter from the moment I entered in recovery. And, we've had our ups and downs as mom and son. I was a single mother. And he actually is the one that taught me that this is a family disease. And I don't just recover, he has to recover too. And I have to be mindful of that. His feelings matter. He watched it all. And today he gets, to tell me that he loves me, and he's so proud of me, and he can't believe that I do this. He's actually the reason I work in the recovery field. I'm a CRS at Jade Wellness Center. when I was entering into this field, I looked at him and told him I was scared. And he's like, well, what are you going to be doing? I said, helping people. He goes, well, don't you already do that now? And I'm like, well, yeah. He goes, why not get paid for it? I'm like, okay. And he goes, it'll probably help your recovery too. And I'm just looking at him like, how are you so knowledgeable at the age of 15? You know all this stuff, and I'm still trying to adult. He's a better adult than I am. But anyway, I met John. We first met at the Anual Club, and it's funny because he sat down and he gives me his whole criminal resume, his whole what substances he was using and all this stuff, and I'm sitting there like none of this matters, dude. Like, what's your favorite color? I don't care. I don't care about any of this. Then I also said, my friend always tells me that if you don't have a criminal background, I can't date you. So that's a requirement. Anyway, so we've been together for about 4 years now, and it's been rocky. He's the first man to show me what unconditional love was too. He didn't just love the way I looked or love this. He loved me in spite of my mental health. I've had a couple breakdowns. I'm also a woman in recovery from mental health. I have a couple mental health diagnoses, and he's been there for me. I'm not gonna talk about his recovery too.
It's our recovery.
It's our recovery.
It's our recovery.
Yeah, it's our recovery. Yeah.
I think that's the most important part, is that we recover together. I have my strong days and she has hers. I have my very weak days and she has hers. And despite of all that, we wake each other up. We get each other up. We get each other motivated. Some days are just brutal and they're frustrating. Mental health days that just, I just can't take them. But somehow she talks me into it. Somehow I hear her
force
voice,
him.
right? That and but at the end of the day, I have to say that I didn't know how to be in a relationship, right? So I did some things in mental health and therapy that I learned how to be myself first. I learned how to love myself first, And I had to, once I learned how to do that, then I could be the best version of me for someone else.
Right.
And today, I help people, not just doing side work, but we both love helping other people because I like to see that. I like to see someone else succeed because that helps me succeed.
Yeah. Also, he's the only man my son said was okay for me to be dating. He said, I love John.
Very true.
Actually, if he wants to come up here, I would like you guys to meet him. You want to come up? Come on. Woo! I'm trying. Run. Let's go.
I'm Calvin Selensky. This is my mother and her husband John, and I'm very proud of them. And it definitely is a family disease, so it's not just a one-sided, selfish. What's the word I'm looking for?
Self-centered.
Yeah, self-centered disease that affects just one person, and you can't do it alone. So I'm glad I have them in my life.
Thank you all. Thank you for being here. And if you're struggling today, get with somebody from here. Pull them aside. Tell them you need help. There is hope. We're living proof. Everybody standing here is living proof. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you, John and Sandra, for your amazing recovery story. Thank you for sharing your journey here today with us at the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk. Now it's time for our next storyteller. This is also a new type of voice for us, hearing from a family member of a person in recovery. Please join me in welcoming Christine Persira Naaman.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. A mother is only as well as her least well child. That sounds right, doesn't it? I mean, it sounds kind of noble, sounds like how a good mother should live, but it's wrong. I know this because I tried it. I know this because I lived it. It's not healthy. What brings me here today is my daughter, Natalie. My second born, love of my life, best thing that ever happened to me, little girl who fell into addiction way too young, starting with stealing pills from her grandparents' medicine cabinet to finally reaching the point of injecting fentanyl into her body. She's presently in recovery. While my daughter will always be the priority, loved ones need care too. Why? Because they're suffering too. Maybe not in the same way, but for sure, they're suffering. It's a family condition. Loved ones are not immune to the ugly, devastating assaults that addiction attacks people with. While the person suffering from the disease walks the streets, the loved one walks the floor of their homes. While the afflicted person is being tortured about what's going to happen next, so does the loved one. When the dependent person feels hopeless and alone, so does the loved one. People sometimes forget this. It's strange how people can easily rally around every other illness and injury, but not addiction. When it's about a cancer, a badly broken leg, people seem to know what to say and what to do. They're sorry for you. They're sorry for them. They're sorry for everyone. This must be hard on you, they say. People don't often bring the situation up with addiction. Don't speak to your loved one's name thinking that it's better, kinder, or more polite. I read an article once where a mother said, "No one brings a casserole when your daughter is a drug addict." I can attest that in my life, these words are true. Natalie had been suffering from substance use disorder for more than 10 years. I checked the front porch daily, and still there was nothing. I can relate to this practice, though. In my family, we didn't send casseroles. We were Italian. We sent a lasagna. I watched my mother lovingly toil in the kitchen when other people were going through a hard time. I would come home from school, and the smell would hit me at the door. When I walked into the kitchen, I would see the fresh-made lasagna on the table, and I would know that something unfortunate had happened to someone we cared for, and that lasagna was going on a journey. We were going to drop it off at their house as a gesture of sympathy, empathy, and caring. But sometimes people don't make lasagna when your child is suffering from substance use disorder. Instead, they drive right by your house, look up, and think how glad they are not to be you. They think it's kinder just to let you be. I'm here asking you today to say you're sorry, speak their name, making a lasagna. It does matter, it does help. The addict does not deserve to feel alone, but neither does the loved one. We all know that there is some stigma surrounding this illness, so much stigma surrounding the afflicted, but there is so much stigma surrounding the loved ones too. My daughter became that girl, the one who had done wrong, the one to stay away from, the bad influence. But I became that mother too, the one who had failed, the one who didn't notice. We both felt the unforgiving eyes on us. It's a horrible, isolating feeling when you're surrounded by these judgmental ideas instead of being surrounded by the understanding, compassion, and kindness that you really need. As a mom, one single, commonly most asked question for me is, didn't you notice? And to answer the question, didn't I notice? The answer, of course, is yes, I did notice. And the answer is also no, I didn't notice at all. Every stinking sign was there, but sometimes you only see what you want to. And the question I silently asked myself right after being asked, what did I notice, was where was I? The answer to where were we, Natalie and I, is pretty simple. We were right where everyone else was, probably where you were too. At the pumpkin farm, carving a Thanksgiving turkey, sitting on Santa's lap, at dance and gymnastics classes, at the school play, in the front pew at church. We were no better word for it, regular. We were everyone. So somehow, from the time that we were sitting on Santa's lap and our next chapter, who did we become? Natalie became an unrecognizable version of herself. I became an unrecognizable version of me. As Natalie grew sicker, I grew sicker. What was my response to her condition? What did I do? I stopped taking care of myself, gained 40 pounds, stopped going to doctor's appointments, avoided social interactions, let my gray roots show, ordered takeout instead of making healthy dinners, boycotted God. I let go of everything that gave me fulfillment and joy. I would pick up all of these things back once again when my daughter was well. I would drop out of life as much as a living person could. After all, isn't that what good mothers do? I mean, isn't it only right? Don't mothers who suffer from whose children suffer along with them? When your child is dying, don't you die too? It seems kind of improper to survive. When I say to people that Natalie is in recovery, I'm also tempted to tell them that I'm in recovery too. How did I get to recovery? The same way that everyone gets to recovery. The hard, torturous way after struggling, suffering, falling, and getting up and falling again and again for a million times. I hit my motherly rock bottom. Where was my rock bottom? Where did I fall to? My rock bottom was in my daughter's bedroom, surrounded by her pink floral wallpaper and her favorite stuffed animals. Where did I fall to? I fell to my knees in front of her lifeless blue body. My rock bottom arrived on a Saturday morning, and who was right there to help break the news to me, to tell me the truth? The dog. He seemed to know what was going on before I did. It was a Saturday morning, and I'm an early bird. I'm up, I'm almost out the door, but the dog is acting strangely, pawing at Natalie's bedroom door. No worries, he wants in there. I go over, open the door just enough for him to slide through, and I'm about to close it again when he darts back and forth. He's in and out. I'm about to tell him to make up his mind when I look down and see that he has a syringe in his mouth. And there you have it. When I rush into the room, Natalie is unresponsive. There is panic, running, screaming for my husband, and almost called a 911, then Narcan that my husband had just in case very smartly gotten from the pharmacy. She's alive again. That night, I cry as I make the dog, who was a hero, a steak for dinner. And I decide that I don't want to live this way anymore. And if this is how it's going to be, count me out. There's not thoughts you're supposed to have. When I cried, realizing that I didn't want to be here anymore, I knew that I had hit my rock bottom. Natalie and I arrived at our darkest places at different times, coming from two different directions. But the good news is we both got there, because if we hadn't gotten there, we would have never gotten here. I realized that an unwell me was useless to my daughter, and a dead me was going to do her no good at all. I was so busy trying to keep my daughter from dying, I neglected to notice my dying self. I noticed that I needed to at least share my focus on me as well as her. I always like to quote activist Dean DeFinius when he reminds us that when you're on a plane and there is an emergency, they tell you to put your own oxygen mask on before trying to save anyone else. At first, this may sound a little selfish, but when you think of it, it's the only thing to do. So what did I do? I collected the pieces of my shattered life and self and began putting them back together. I rebuilt myself physically, mentally, emotionally. I walked into a doctor's office and said the very bravest words that I ever had to say, which was, "I'm not okay, I need help." I ate better, took a walk, colored my hair, bought a new shade of lipstick, asked a friend for lunch, gave God another chance. I got back in touch with all the things that made me me, and I even went one step further and forced myself to try something new. I made myself grow, and while not abandoning my daughter, I educated myself. They say you need to know your enemy. As much as I didn't want to, I studied up on substance use disorder and learned to understand it. In the process, understanding my daughter better and even myself. When I became more knowledgeable, the power shifted just a tiny bit, and I became just a small bit empowered and stronger. I learned to live around the mess. I did some extra credit. I wrote a book telling my personal story, trying to offer hope to someone else, someone like me and Natalie. I really only came here today for one reason, which was to try to make you like me. Try to make you like Natalie, because maybe, just maybe, if you like me, then I'll have helped to beat down just a tiny bit of the stigma that surrounds dependency. I want you to understand me, because if you do understand me, then the jitters that I had last night and the shaky knees that I'm standing on right now will all be worth it. Even though they are far from out of my comfort zone, I force myself to participate in events like this because as scared and as self-conscious as I am, I'm determined to be a part of the solution and not a victim. This is what leads me to this exact moment in time where I'm standing before you right now with one message, which is to tell you very simply that while the afflicted individual may be suffering, I understand that you as a loved one are suffering too. I want to let you know that you matter and that it's okay that you matter. I want to let you know that there is recovery out there for all of us.
So the sun is out, right? I'm literally getting a tan just watching y'all. Oh, wait, well, never mind. I had a good one going before I started up here, but yeah. But we're glad it's sunny. It'll be great for a walk. So thank you so much, Christine. Now it's time for our final storyteller. Please join me in welcoming Nerves of Steel, Cassandra Williams-Richards.
Made extra point to point out the timer to me. So I'm gonna try not to hold you guys hostage, but honestly, it's hard to taper this kind of enthusiasm and passion behind recovery, am I right? Am I right? So my name is Cassandra Williams-Richards. I am a recovery coach for Lost Dreams Awakening, RCO in New Kensington, PA. So I just want to talk to you guys a little bit about hope. When I was going through what I was going through, which to me was a lot, it was life and death every single day. I lost my ability to maintain any type of hope or self-worth. When I was a young girl, I was exposed to adult things very early. And because of that, I grew up very confused, especially about my body, especially about who had a right to touch me and whether I had a right to tell them no or not. You know, when I was 12 years old and I ran away from home to sneak away to go to a party and I passed out and woke up with someone on top of me, I just thought that that's the kind of thing that happens, you know, and I never spoke up about it. And when it happened again when I was 16 and I actually tried to fight back and he pushed me, dislocating my arm and putting his hand over my mouth, saying I'm almost finished, I thought, this is just the kind of thing that happens, you know? And when I went to a predominantly white school and I got jumped and repeatedly harassed for just being black, for the color of my skin, which blew my mind, how you could hate me and not even know me just because I'm black. And I thought to myself, why make waves? You know, they already don't like me, why speak up? Just smile and nod, tell jokes, be the funny girl, be the life of the party, not knowing that I was the jest, you know, why make waves? So I silenced myself repeatedly throughout my life, choking out the voice that my higher power gave me to speak up and to make a change. I told myself that I wasn't worth listening to. I told myself from a very young age that the convictions within me were mine to bear and mine alone. That kind of torment pushed me to try to numb it all, to try to escape. I wanted to be anybody but Cassie. Anybody but Cassie would do. So if I needed to be the funny girl, then I'm the funny girl. You know, if I needed to be the whore, then I'm the whore. Excuse my language, but that's what they called me, so that's what I embodied. If I needed to be dumbed down and silenced because you couldn't comprehend the message that I was trying to portray, then that's exactly what I did. I silenced myself and I sat in the corner of the party and I numbed it all. As a young girl, I knew that I was a lesbian, but I was religious as well. So those spiritual convictions within me made me feel like I truly was a demon, because that's what my church told me, that I was in the grips of a demon, that I was the devil's plaything. So that's how I began to act. In true adolescent rebellion, I behaved like an animal because I felt like that's how every single person treated me. And now that I'm older, I realize that that's the story that I was telling myself. Those are the things that I convinced myself. I allowed myself to believe that my life had no worth, that I was worth less than the dirt underneath your shoes, that an animalistic existence was all that I deserved and all that I could hope to grab onto. In my recovery, to have full disclosure, I've been in and out of the rooms. I've been in and out of rehabs. I have several relapses. That's part of my story. But it's only because I felt like this was all that I could get. You know what I mean? I never felt like I deserved more than begging for scraps or smiling at the next woman or anybody who could give me some semblance of validation, who could tell me that I'm worthwhile. I thought that that was it, that was all that I was able to achieve, being a player of sorts, you know. I thought that that was it. Oh, I'm out here, I'm really out here, I'm in the game, not realizing that I'm trapped in this cycle of degradation and defeat, the kind of despair that swallows you whole. I had turned my life into quicksand and I was slowly dying. And I refused to reach out for help. You know, my family, both my mothers are here today. I love you. My family, however, refused to give up on me. And that's what I see when I look out into this crowd today. I see individuals filled with hope who refuse to allow our existence, our communities, our families, our friends to die from a disease that can't be helped. You know, and that's exactly what my family did for me. They kept telling me that I was worthwhile and that they loved me, so I kept seeking help. And this time around, when I got out of rehab, there was a hand extended out towards me to pull me into the light and tell me that I had a future. I'm proud of you for even trying to live a better life. And you have no idea how much that means to someone who gave up on themselves. You know, the Cassie that lived and existed back then, I'm slowly shaking that skin off of me, but that woman was death walking on two legs. I was spiritually depleted. I was in my own despair and darkness, and I thought to myself, I'm only hurting myself, right? Because that's what we tell ourselves. I'm only hurting myself. In my bio, it mentions my 15 nieces and nephews, and I sincerely thought that their lives would be better off without me in it. You know, I have sisters, I have brothers, and I really thought to myself that if I just disappeared, if I just ceased to exist, then maybe they could have happy lives. And I actively pursued that non-existent state of unliving every single day. And I told myself, this is what you deserve. This is what you get. Living at the bottom, this is what you get. Being homeless, living out of the back of your car, which is the only responsible thing that I've ever bought in my entire life was my vehicle. But living out the back of your car in the dead of a Pennsylvania winter, sleeping on benches, begging people for food because I was too ashamed and embarrassed to ask my family to feed me or to allow me to take a shower or can I stay here? I mean, they wouldn't let me do what I wanted to do in the first place, so I got it, you know, I'm out here, I got it. Let me live out the back of my car. Let me be with people that I know are using me because at least they want to be around me, right? And I told myself that they were my friends. They weren't my friends. I have true friends today that show up for me, who support me, who allow me to make boundaries so that I'm not overextending myself or feeling depleted at the end of the day because I gave so much to them that I didn't have anything left for myself. I have true friends today. And today I also have hope. You know, I push for, I'm a recovery coach, I mentioned that for Lost Dreams Awakening, and we do a lot of outreach. And I love that because I myself have lost so much as a direct result of this disease. My older sister, Tanel, who's 8 years older than me, my mother, she's in recovery as well. But growing up, my sister Tanel is who I clung to, who I felt like really raised me, who showed me that there's more to me than just my body. I have my mind, and she helped me to hone that. And she overdosed and died in 2018 to a fentanyl-laced bag of cocaine. And that was my final excuse, and I do mean excuse, to allow myself to spiral into this chaos of my own making. You don't know what I've been through. You don't understand my life. If you knew what I knew, if you seen the things that I seen, you'd get high too. You'd drink until you blacked out too. You'd lose your mind, time. I woke up after my sister's funeral. I woke up 3 months later thinking it was the day after. I lost time. I lost myself. And that's what scared me the most. My mind literally broke, and I knew I had to make a change or I was going to die. And I finally told myself, maybe it's worth one more try. And I'm so grateful that I did that because, one, when I got out of rehab, Miss Lori Johnson Wade and Dr. Vonzell Wade, two beautiful souls who used to babysit me also, by the way. I've known them my entire life. But they supported me until I was able to actually believe in myself. They poured hope into me until it actually resonated within my own spirit. They told me that I could. They supported me and sponsored me through the CCAR Recovery Coach Academy, where I got certified as a recovery coach. They facilitate that training, by the way, at Lost Dreams Awakening, and I believe they will have another one before the year's out. So if you're into helping people, I'd look into that. They supported me and sponsored me through my community resiliency model training. They gave me the tools to not only better understand my fellow recovery, but to better understand myself and to learn how to cope with all this pain that I was holding inside of me. And it allowed me to feel like I didn't have to carry it anymore. I didn't have to willingly pick up this sack of boulders that I was lugging on my shoulders, telling myself it was my weight to bear. I was allowed to put it down. I don't have to live in that existence anymore. I don't have to dwell in my past anymore. A lot of things happened to me. Some of it of my own making, some things I never even asked for, but it didn't define me. This is what I'm learning. It doesn't have to be my existence anymore. I don't have to be the girl who was raped or who was judged. I don't have to be the girl who was abused, who was abandoned. I don't have to be the girl that nobody wants to be around, who's embarrassing. I'm obnoxious. I'm too loud. I'm too much. I don't have to be any of that. And furthermore, your opinion of me no longer matters. Because today I love me. Today I am telling myself, and I'm still working on it, but I'm trying to tell myself every single day that I'm worthwhile. I am enough for me. And that's all I truly needed, was an opportunity. What I truly needed was a foundation, helping hands to allow me to be in my mess and say, it's okay, cry it out. It's okay if you're falling to pieces. I'll hold you together until you can hold yourself up straight. And when you hold yourself up straight, you pick your head up and you step into the world a brand new woman. And that's exactly what I am today. I am reborn, and I am reborn with a purpose. A purpose to continue to spread the love and hope that was so freely given to me, to help the next sick and suffering recovery. Apparently, I'm going over my time a little bit. But I just wanted to say that if you're still struggling or if you need any type of help, it's okay to be where you're at. You don't have to be perfect. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. All you need is a willingness to fight for better, because that's exactly what you deserve, is better. And real quick, before I leave you, I just want to let you guys know that Lost Dreams Awakening RCO in New Kensington will be putting on a BIPOC summit. More information about it is over there at our table. It's Black, Indigenous, people of color. There's some heavy hitters. Cut her off. Oh, okay. So I'm getting kicked off. They're giving me the shaft. But I love you all and thank you so much.
Folks, I want to thank you for allowing me for the second time. I was here last year to be your MC today. I hope you have really enjoyed all of these lived experiences and the stories that we've told and shared up here. And I want to say to you also really quickly that last year when we walked, there's something so powerful that happens when we come together and we walk together those streets. I've seen some people who are walking with so much pride, and I've seen some onlookers with tears in their eyes. You're making change. Thank you. Yep. I'm going to kick it back to Kelly.
Walkers, are we ready? Thanks for sticking out through the sun and the stories, and thank you. We're gonna get started. I believe we're gonna line up right in that corner where I'm pointing, my right, your left. And the Munhole Band is gonna kick it off with us.
If you have HIV, there are services in Pennsylvania to help you get the care you need. These services include healthcare, housing, transportation, food assistance, and mental health support. Live confidently. If you have HIV, there are services in Pennsylvania to help you get the care you need. These services include healthcare, housing, transportation, food assistance, and mental health support. You are the key to your health.
Using smartwatches and a phone app, Recovery by Behavior empowers individuals pursuing or in recovery and informs care providers. Individuals have a portable toolbox that offers individualized tools and resources and can be used to let your support system know when you need them wherever you are. It can even predict increased risk of cravings up to 4 hours in advance. Providers have access to real-time physiological and emotional data, allowing easy identification of those at greatest risk for proactive intervention and data-driven decision-making. We're raising the bar on person-centered care. Don't be left behind.
It's time for a new way of looking at healthcare. Time to bring a fresh perspective to recurring, emerging, and yet unknown challenges. It's time to create something better. At Carillon, we see how great healthcare can be. And we're committed to making it happen, to seamlessly connecting solutions, to reaching above and going beyond what's already out there. We are a healthcare services organization backed by decades of experience, dedicated to solving the industry's most complex challenges.
Well, great. We're so glad. What great speakers we've had today. Wonderful stories and wonderful things for us all to listen to and consider in our own journey. And so now the Recovery Walk is beginning, and everyone's gathering and getting ready to move. The Munhall Community Band is going to be leading throughout a new walk this year. We actually had to expand the route this year because we had so many people that are participating this year. So definitely want to see everybody involved next year. But while the community is going to be walking around the streets of Pittsburgh, Nicole and I are going to be gathering around again, letting you know about a few other resource tables that are here at the Recovery Walk. And then we'll also have some extra special notes from some of our speakers that we'll be doing in conclusion of the program today. So I have here with us here a really new organization to the Recovery Walk, Dance Safe. Why don't you guys tell us a little bit about what it is that your organization does and why you're here today?
Yeah, absolutely. Should I hold this? Or okay. So we're Pittsburgh Dance Safe. It's a national organization that services the nightlife community. It's been around since 1998, and we manufacture fentanyl test strips, xylazine test strips, and reagent test kits. So the state actually uses our test strips as their manufacturer. So you'll see them commonly at a lot of the other organizations here. They're probably handing them out today. So we also offer lots of outreach materials. So today we have drug education cards, a consent program, a safer sex station, as well as safe consumption tools such as clean straws and spoons, and then information about our reagent test kits. So we typically service the nightlife community, so raves, music festivals, pride events, and we really try to target recreational drug users.
That's a lot of information right there. So can you take a second and explain, because lots of people are watching in different stories and different backgrounds, but why is a fentanyl test strip a helpful thing for people to consider using in the days that we're living in today?
Absolutely. So the drug supply has changed significantly over the years, and what we're seeing more and more, as most of you are aware, is contamination of fentanyl in different drug supplies. And so in order to keep people alive while they are still using before they've reached recovery, or if they, have recurrence of use, everyone's journey is different. We have the tools to keep people alive. So you can test your substances with our test strips and reagent test kits. Sorry. Okay, sorry. So yeah, you can test your supply that you're going to use with our test strips to tell you if there's fentanyl present or not. And if that is something that you are not wanting to consume, you know what is in your supply, and that can keep you alive.
Yeah, and so when some people will say, we're not allowed to have fentanyl testing strips, what do you say to somebody who says that?
Absolutely. So that has changed fairly recently. So their legislation changed at the very beginning of the year. All drug checking tools, such as our reagent test kits and the test strips, are legalized, and third parties such as us and the health department are allowed to distribute them. So they are totally legal to have on the person. You will not be arrested for having them on you.
Yeah, and so it's a wonderful distribution process. A lot of people don't realize that fentanyl and xylazine they increase risk at a level that people previously are unaware of or unfamiliar with. And so thank you so much for being here and participating. This is your first year at the Recovery Walk, right? Right? Yeah. And so what do you see whenever you came to the Recovery Walk today? Like, can you describe to somebody, what does it feel like to be here?
It's big, overwhelming in a good way. It is. It's big heart sparkles. Like it's like just a lot of happy moments. It's great to see just the community, that everybody can relate on some level. The amount of people who are here who have something in common, and that being recovery, or caring about recovery, or caring about people in recovery, is a lot. It's a lot to keep caring for. It's a lot to keep showing up for, and we just have to kind of define recovery however it works for us, however we understand that, however we can make it work, so that we can all get here. We can all be walking together and under the sunshine and helping people get to wherever we need to be, so that we can access the right information, the right tools, and the right people to help us keep going.
Great. What about you? What do you see whenever you came in today? How does it feel to you?
Overwhelming support. It's a beautiful event and community. I came last year and did the walk, and this year to be here servicing this community is just fantastic. We've had overwhelming support with our table today, which was really beautiful to see. So many more people are understanding the need and importance of harm reduction and the tools and the education, and it's just been a really, really positive event.
I know when I came by earlier, your cards were full, so I see they're mostly gone now. Lots of people, lots of information. I think what your group's doing, making it so that people are educated and understanding, is another essential component into making sure that recovery sticks with people. So one last question here for you. I've been asking everybody, if you could describe the Recovery Walk in one word, what word would you use? Who wants to go first?
I feel like I have one that we would both use, and that's community. And community is one of the most important factors in the recovery journey and sustaining recovery and really life itself. Everyone needs community. Everyone needs community, and this event is just an overwhelming feeling of community. People from so many different walks of life coming together for the same reason, and it's just beautiful.
Visibility. That's like, we're out here, we see each other, we're seeing, what this looks like, what it looks like to walk on the other side and through the path all together. So yeah, we're offering each other visibility. That's magic. We're here.
So there you have it. Another wonderful words, community, visibility, key phrases and concepts here at the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk. We're going to continue to show you around a few other resources that are available here, and then we'll wrap up with some more interviews at the end. So stay tuned.
It's time for a new way of looking at healthcare. Time to bring a fresh perspective to recurring, emerging, and yet unknown challenges. It's time to create something better. At Carillon, we see how great healthcare can be. And we're committed to making it happen, to seamlessly connecting solutions, to reaching above and going beyond what's already out there. We are a healthcare services organization backed by decades of experience, dedicated to solving the industry's most complex challenges.
HSAO Drug and Alcohol is comprised of programs designed to serve residents in Allegheny County with a substance use disorder. Services within the unit include Drug Court and DUI Court, Drug and Alcohol Case Management, Children's Court Impact, and Act 53. Services for those suffering from addiction come at no cost to the individual. If you or someone you know needs help, please reach out to HSAO today.
Hi everyone, this is Nicole Carson. Hi everyone, this is Nicole Carson at the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk. I am here with Dan with West Par. Dan, tell me a little bit about what your organization does.
Thank you for having us here, Nicole. West Par stands for the Western Pennsylvania Alliance of Recovery Residences. We're a conglomeration of recovery house owners who have different specialties in the area. We have faith-based house, we have human trafficking houses, we have MAT houses, we have abstinence-based houses. So we operate from everything east of Center County to the Ohio line and from Washington County to Erie County.
Wow, that's really amazing. As a woman in long-term recovery and working in this field, I know how important having a place for our patients to go after treatment. So tell me, what would you say about the walk? What is the most important thing about the community here?
The community has been amazing today, and we continue to gain more support as we move forward in this process. We've changed a lot over the years, and the Recovery Walk is just amazing. It brings so much energy and awareness to the recovery movement.
So I know you've been around quite some time, so tell me, what year does this make for the Recovery Walk for you? How long have you been coming?
I started coming back into the recovery in 2010, and we've been coming here about 5 years now.
That is amazing. So my favorite question of the day, everybody that's been watching already knows, describe the Recovery Walk in one word.
Amazing. And I'd like to give a big shout out to the people back there at Greenbrier watching us all and wish you could be out here, and next year we'll see you.
Yeah, we have them and Gateway. Also, are you familiar with Gateway Rehab?
I am. We get a lot of referrals from Gateway. I just got an email yesterday that they have some clients ready to go, so hopefully we can help them get started in their recovery and give them all the resources they need to be successful.
Thank you so much, Dan. Thank you to West Par. We can't do this without you. And I will see you guys very shortly. Thank you.
All right, so here we have another resource table here with the Pitt School of Dental Medicine, which is another wonderful resource made available at the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk. And so first things first, so we got a couple of you all here. Help me understand, for the people that are watching at home, does it feel like to be here with all these people and getting ready for the walk? And what does it feel like?
It feels really nice to be able to be here today. We're really happy. We're very passionate about giving everybody the opportunity to have healthy smiles. And so we're really grateful to be here, to be passing out hygiene kits. And we're hoping to be able to come to more recovery centers and continue to pass those out and spread knowledge about oral health and ways to maintain a healthy smile.
That's great, and thank you for being here. You know, there's so many different organizations that all give out different items and things like that at the box. So you know, my kids always take home a big bag of stuff whenever they're here. But someone tell them what are all the kind of things that are in the bag that you're giving out today? What's that?
So we have a toothbrush, we have floss, we have toothpaste with fluoride. Your toothpaste should have fluoride. And then we have a little information pamphlet. You can come visit us at the school. We provide affordable health care and we take most types of insurance. So come in and see us.
And so it's a great resource to connect people that are in recovery that are maybe struggling to find out how to work within, to get their dental procedures taken care of. Are you? Have any of you worked in that procedure or there's at this time? What's it like? Somebody comes in, they're always afraid, right? So what do you do to help make that be more easier for people? You want to go? Go ahead.
We really try to make sure that every patient feels comfortable coming to the dental school. You know, we'd like to make sure that everyone realizes you're not alone and you're probably not the first person to have whatever issue you have going on inside your mouth. And we just make it a very inclusive environment. We're not ever going to judge the conditions that patients come in with. And we really emphasize that, you know, we're a dental school, we're students, so we're trying to learn, and we're very grateful to anybody who's willing to let us learn. And so we try to not make it, think of it as like a doctor-patient relationship, more as two people really working to help each other out.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you. The reality is that, you know, I know that everyone is watching from different needs and different things, you know, and I think that sometimes when people are coming to events like this, it's like, well, I didn't think this would need to be here or this needed to be here. There's so many resources that are being available at the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk. Thank you for being here. I wanted to ask you one last question here in closing. If you could each give us like one key word, like what is the one word that's describing this event today and what you feel as you consider the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk? What's that one key word?
Community.
Inspiring.
I was going to say inspiring. I have to think of one now. Yeah, passionate.
Thank you. These words, community, we're hearing that word repeated over and over again today. This is such a beautiful event where everyone's coming together, serving together, helping the community together. We all work together to make this community strong. And so we're going to go through and show you a few other resources here at the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk at this time.
Hi, everyone. This is Nicole Carson again. I am sitting here with Teetotal Initiative. So what was your first name? Jackie. Scott. Jackie and Scott. So tell me, guys, tell me about exactly what your organization does.
Sure. Yes. So we're a new nonprofit in Pittsburgh, and we are focused on sober recreational activities. So we plan events, classes, all sorts of things to support you outside of meetings and support groups. So I always found that I needed something a little extra to go and meet other people who are also sober and like-minded. And so we started to create different pop-up events and unique things around the city to start supporting that. So we are right now just doing those pop-ups in different locations and neighborhoods. But we will be hoping to open a building next year. We'll have a permanent community space.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know you were going to ask another question.
No, that's okay. I'm just checking out your sign. There's yoga, there's engaging classes, book club. Like, that is great. As a woman in recovery, I really appreciate you adding something different to the mix. So is this your first year at the Recovery Walk?
Well, it's our first year at having a table at the Recovery Walk, so we are new. We just started all of this earlier this year, so we're really starting to ramp up things and getting the word out. And so I've been here for a couple of years, and Scott, I think it's your first year. Number one.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice, exciting. Okay, so we've got a lot of folks watching this live on social media. We also have Gateway watching this live. Scott, tell me, what would you like to tell the clients in Gateway that they can expect?
I would like to say that both Jackie and myself have been there. I mean, we actually met in outpatient, and that's where Teetotal Initiative was born. You know, we sat there, we were both in AA, we both had been a part of the recovery community, and we were in outpatient, and we were like, man, like, all these resources are amazing, but we want to go, like, just do something fun and be around other individuals and not have to think about recovery necessarily, but still be supported by other sober individuals. So that's where Teetotal was born. We decided we didn't know anything else like it out there, so we decided to create it. So here we are a couple years later. You know, I always like to compare it to, you know, getting sober to getting a brand new car. And, you know, everything's great when you first leave the car dealership. Everyone's awesome. You're in early recovery. You're nice and sober. But then what happens a couple months down the line, a couple years down the line? You have a bad day. You get laid off from work. We're all about catering to maintenance and providing resources for that vital ongoing maintenance by creating activities that cater to everybody, whether it be, like you said, yoga or, you know, just fun social activities. We have pop-up events happening all over the city, crafting, so you get that creative bit in there. Yeah, so we're trying to, you know, make sure that everybody is welcome. We're all about inclusivity and making sure that everyone feels welcome at our events.
That is absolutely amazing. I was going to ask you guys the power of community, but that kind of shows the power of community. Two people meeting by chance and creating something new that we've never seen. So for people who have never been here, how can you describe the atmosphere? Because they can see it, but like, how can you describe it so they can like feel what's happening here?
It's really cool to be in a place where, again, you have that sober connection because you know everyone here is either in recovery or an ally. And so it's just easy to be yourself. You know, it's just you walk around. I say hi to all sorts of people that I don't even know because I know we have that mutual connection. And it just feels really good to be there and in that space.
And one thing that was really cool is we actually created this sober calendar that's on our website, and it's super interactive. You can go on and actually select the event. It's not just our events, but it's events happening that I call them certifiably sober events that are happening, and it's been so cool getting to see all of these other organizations that are also doing, you know, events, whether they're geared towards fitness or they're geared towards, you know, yoga. So getting to like see familiar faces when there's so many people here, it's like, wow, this really is a community, and we're becoming part of that, and so it's really amazing.
Wow, we are really excited as part of the committee of the Recovery Walk. We're so excited to have you. Now, this has been my favorite question. Describe the Recovery Walk for those at home in one word, just one word.
Social.
Nice, I like that. New one.
Invigorating.
Oh, I love it. Social and invigorating. You've heard it here. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I will see you guys soon.
Hi, my name is Jesse Scheck. I'm a person in long-term recovery, and I'm part of the team that helps put on the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk every year. I really just wanted to take a second to talk to all you folks who are tuned in here at the watch parties at Gateway. We're so excited that you're here with us. Like, I wanted to tell you, I have been exactly where you folks are at. Like, if you are at Gateway Aliquippa, I may have, like 16 years ago, been sitting in the actual seat that you are sitting in, and I know how it feels. There's hope. If this isn't your first time in treatment, it took me a bunch of tries. If it isn't your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, I'm not going to keep counting, but it took me more tries than that. But yesterday I celebrated 16 years clean. So next year, come out to the walk, be here with us, come get involved, volunteer for the walk. There's hope. We're so glad that you're there. Next year, we hope that you'll be here live with us. Thank you so much.
I was made aware of Life's Work by a few people that I know in recovery. And what really attracted me to the company is their desire to help people and trying to get people back on their feet. There's so many different things that can encompass this. You know, at the end of the day, I try to just exhibit a caring for the people that I'm trying to help. And I feel like the rest of that, you know, all falls into line after that. Everybody, no matter what form of life they're in, experiences some hard times, and everybody needs some help to get things straightened out every once in a while. And Life's Work's dedicated to doing that, and to be part of that and to help other people like I was helped in my journey as well is just, I mean, it's such a great cause and a great company to work for.
All right, well, we're here again with another resource table. I'm here with my new friend Marianne, setting up here as another wonderful program at the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk. And so, Marianne, can you just take a minute and just tell everybody who's watching, what is the name of your organization and what are you doing?
Sure. I work for PSAN. We're a peer-supported organization. We offer a few different services. We have a drop-in center in Bellevue. We have a CPS program, Certified Peer Specialist program, and we also have a 1-800 non-emergent hotline called the Warm Line that I supervise. And that hotline is open 365 days a year from 9 a.m. to 1 a.m.
And so when people call the hotline, what kind of services or programs are you providing through that hotline?
So typically we offer, people who just want to talk. We offer resources for them if they need any kind of resource connection. And we also obviously do connect people with Resolve or other crisis line services if people are feeling, for instance, suicidal.
And so your organization helps provide some of those essential connecting pieces for individuals whenever they're moving around on their own and might be feeling isolated or alone, and you help connect that. So how does being connected to people, do you think, helps people maintain their recovery?
Well, I have so much hope just even being here today to see all of these people who are focusing on recovery. I feel like the Warm Line is a safe place for people to talk about their issues. We have frequent callers who call every single day, and we're just the touchstone that they need to let them know that there are people out there who understand what they're going through.
So whenever somebody is experiencing separation from their friends, peers, or support structures, do you have something that you tell them how they can find support as quickly as they can?
Well, the support that we offer is a 20-minute conversation. But if there's further resources that they might need, I often refer them to my supervisor, Tom Devereaux, at the CPS program, and we get them connected.
That's great. And so now you're here at the Recovery Walk. Is this your first year? How many years have you been involved here?
This is my first year here, yeah.
And so whenever you came in, and you saw all the stuff that's going on, what did it feel like to you?
I was really encouraged, to be honest with you, because even working within the organization, sometimes we feel isolated, So looking around, getting to know some of the other vendors gives me a lot of hope that people are going to be able to find the resources that they need for their recovery.
Yeah, and so if you could describe the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk in one word, what is the one word you might use to describe the walk today?
Hope.
Hope. That's a powerful word. Powerful word and a powerful thing for us all to remember as we consider all the resources here at the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk. Thanks for sharing your organization, and stay tuned for a few other key behind-the-scenes looks at some things here at the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk.
Hey everyone, Nicole Carson here. Okay, so I am with Dr. Vaughn Zell Wade with Lost Dreams Awakening. Tell me, Vaughn, tell me a little bit about what Lost Dreams Awakening does.
Oh yeah, Lost Dreams Awakening, we're a recovery community organization located in New Kensington, Pennsylvania, and we work with individuals and families who've been impacted by substance use disorder, embracing all pathways.
I know, that's right. So this organization is very near and dear to my heart. It really helped me out at the beginning of my journey. But I got to tell you, if you can see this man right here, this is brand new. This is the grand opening opening grand presentation of the Rolling for Recovery van. So tell me, Vaughn, tell me a little bit about what this beautiful van is going to do.
Oh, we're very excited about this. So this van, what we realize is that recovery happens in communities, and a lot of people don't come to the brick and mortar, and we realize that we got to take the game to the community, to service the community, to help those in the community. So Rolling for Recovery, meeting people where they are, Lost Dreams Awakening will be coming to a community near you.
That is amazing. Meeting people where they're at, multiple pathways, harm reduction, recovery of all forms. That is what today is all about. So we have a lot of really special guests. So we got a lot of folks watching on social media, but we have Gateway Rehab watching. What do you want to say to those folks sitting in those seats that you and I sat in one day?
Oh, yeah. Once we put the substance down, Lost Dreams Awaken. Everything's back on the table, taking it a day at a time.
And like Vaughn always says, Lost Dreams Awakening, new possibilities always will arise. All right, last question for you, my favorite one of the day. Describe the recovery walk in one word.
Awesome.
Woo! You heard it here. It's awesome. If you haven't gotten down here yet, we hope to see you next year. Gateway, hang on. You're a miracle. Thanks, guys.
All right, so we're here with another great resource table at the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk. This is a new group to me called Pittsburgh Fast. Could you take a minute and just tell everybody watching what is it your organization does and why are you here at the Recovery Walk today?
Pittsburgh Fast is a new group for people in recovery that are looking for different ways to stay active. It's a different way to build a community. We've been hosting pop-up events at local gyms around the community. They're free for members of Pittsburgh Fast, so you can stay active, get to know new people, and build a new community for people in recovery.
And so it's like you're connecting the pieces of getting community together and health and recovery, so that there's people can live active lives and sober lives in the process.
Yeah, some people find it hard to find things to do when they're new in sobriety, some fun active events, so that's why I started this. It's for people that have just started working out to people that have worked out for 20 years. There are events from different hikes to boot camps at gyms, boxing, all different types of active events.
I was just going to ask that. I was like, I'm not ready to work out yet, but I want to be somewhere. So someone comes in and they have no familiarity with any kind of physical health. Is there a place for them whenever you guys are hosting one of your meetings?
Absolutely. The gyms that I have, they have scalable versions for people that are new in recovery, as well as we do small hikes. We also do some yogas and Pilates, some different new activities for people that are new into fitness as well.
Great. And so being here at the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk, we're out walking, we're outside doing stuff, right? But is this your first year being at the walk?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and so when you came into the walk today and you saw everything that's going on, can you help describe, what did you see, what did you feel, what was sticking out?
I just think it's really inspiring for everybody. There's a great energy. It's a great way for people to meet new people in recovery and find different things to do.
Yeah, what about you? What did you see? Anything jump out at you?
It's just a very welcoming environment. It's a very positive environment, and like Lori said, it's a great way to meet new people and a network, and to realize that there is a life beyond just getting sober, right? There are lots of fun activities that you can do and be sober and have a community and have that support.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the great parts about the resource fair at the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk is that we bring a connection of all kinds of programs, not just your typical thing that you might see or think that would be there for somebody who's in recovery, but realizing that recovery intersects every part of life. And so this is a great way to intersect health and well-being as a person is on their recovery journey. So in conclusion, I'd just like to ask, if you could describe the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk in one word, what one word would you use to describe the walk?
Inspiring.
Joyful.
Joyful. Inspiring. Thank you for your kind words. These are great. And stay tuned as we continue to show you a few other great resources here at the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk.
I was made aware of life's work by a few people that I know in recovery. And what really attracted me to the company is their desire to help people and trying to get people back on their feet. There's so many different things that can encompass this. You know, at the end of the day, I try to just exhibit a caring for the people that I'm trying to help. And I feel like the rest of that, you know, all falls into line after that. Everybody, no matter what form of life they're in, experiences some hard times, and everybody needs some help to get things straightened out every once in a while. And Life's Work's dedicated to doing that, and to be part of that and to help other people like I was helped in my journey as well is just, I mean, it's such a great cause and a great company to work for.
Where someone lives and the support they receive is such an important component of recovery. Skyline Recovery at Pittsburgh offers both men and women a safe, comfortable environment to give them the foundation of consistency and security within a small community of people who all share the same goal. If you or someone close to you requires safe housing and a supportive environment, please feel free to contact us today and talk to one of our caring team members. They'll provide you with the information about Skyline and discuss how the application process works. We look forward to hearing from you.
White Deer Run is Pennsylvania's leading provider of personalized care for adults whose lives have been disrupted by addictions to drugs and alcohol. The White Deer Run Treatment Network is comprised of the following locations: Bowling Green Brandywine, Bradford Recovery Center, Cove Forge Behavioral Health, White Deer Run of Allenwood, White Deer Run of Lancaster, White Deer Run of Lehigh, New Perspectives at White Deer Run, White Deer Run of York at Davies Drive, and White Deer Run of York at Mount Zion. Call 866-769-6822 for more information about the services we offer.
If you have HIV, there are services in Pennsylvania to help you get the care you need. These services include healthcare, housing, transportation, food assistance, and mental health support. Live confidently. If you have HIV, there are services in Pennsylvania to help you get the care you need. These services include healthcare, housing, transportation, food assistance, and mental health support. You are the key to your health.
Using smartwatches and a phone app, Recovery by Behavior empowers individuals pursuing or in recovery and informs care providers. Individuals have a portable toolbox that offers individualized tools and resources and can be used to let your support system know when you need them wherever you are. It can even predict increased risk of cravings up to 4 hours in advance. Providers have access to real-time physiological and emotional data, allowing easy identification of those at greatest risk for proactive intervention and data-driven decision-making. We're raising the bar on person-centered care. Don't be left behind.
It's time for a new way of looking at healthcare. time to bring a fresh perspective to recurring, emerging, and yet unknown challenges. It's time to create something better. At Carillon, we see how great healthcare can be. And we're committed to making it happen, to seamlessly connecting solutions, to reaching above and going beyond what's already out there. We are a healthcare services organization backed by decades of experience, dedicated to solving the industry's most complex challenges.
HSAO Drug and Alcohol is comprised of programs designed to serve residents in Allegheny County with a substance use disorder. Services within the unit include drug court and DUI court, drug and alcohol case management, children's court impact, and Act 53. Services for those suffering from addiction come at no cost to the individual. If you or someone you know needs help, please reach out to HSAO today.
I was made aware of Life's work by a few people that I know in recovery. And what really attracted me to the company is their desire to help people and trying to get people back on their feet. There's so many different things that can encompass this. You know, at the end of the day, I try to just exhibit a caring for the people that I'm trying to help. And I feel like the rest of that, all falls into line after that. Everybody, no matter what form of life they're in, experiences some hard times, and everybody needs some help to get things straightened out every once in a while. And Life's Work's dedicated to doing that, and to be part of that and to help other people like I was helped in my journey as well is just, it's such a great cause and a great company to work for.
Where someone lives and the support they receive is such an important component of recovery. Skyline Recovery at Pittsburgh offers both men and women a safe, comfortable environment to give them the foundation of consistency and security within a small community of people who all share the same goal. If you or someone close to you requires safe housing and a supportive environment, please feel free to contact us today and talk to one of our caring team members. They'll provide you with the information about Skyline and discuss how the application process works. We look forward to hearing from you.
White Deer Run is Pennsylvania's leading provider of personalized care for adults whose lives have been disrupted by addictions to drugs and alcohol. The White Deer Run Treatment Network is comprised of the following locations: Bowling Green Brandywine, Bradford Recovery Center, Cove Forge Behavioral Health, White Deer Run of Allenwood, White Deer Run of Lancaster, White Deer Run of Lehigh, New Perspectives at White Deer Run, White Deer Run of York at Davies Drive, and White Deer Run of York at Mount Zion. Call 866-769-6822 for more information about the services we offer.
If you have HIV, there are services in Pennsylvania to help you get the care you need. These services include healthcare, housing, transportation, food assistance, and mental health support. Live confidently. If you have HIV, there are services in Pennsylvania to help you get the care you need. These services include healthcare, housing, transportation, food assistance, and mental health support. You are the key to your health.
Using smartwatches and a phone app, Recovery by Behavior empowers individuals pursuing or in recovery and informs care providers. Individuals have a portable toolbox that offers individualized tools and resources and can be used to let your support system know when you need them wherever you are. It can even predict increased risk of cravings up to 4 hours in advance. Providers have access to real-time physiological and emotional data, allowing easy identification of those at greatest risk for proactive intervention and data-driven decision-making. We're raising the bar on person-centered care. Don't be left behind.
It's time for a new way of looking at healthcare. Time to bring a fresh perspective to recurring, emerging, and yet unknown challenges. It's time to create something better. At Carillon, we see how great healthcare can be. And we're committed to making it happen, to seamlessly connecting solutions, to reaching above and going beyond what's already out there. We are a healthcare services organization backed by decades of experience, dedicated to solving the industry's most complex challenges.
All right. Well, thank you so much for staying tuned to all the different resource centers that have been available to walk. And now as everyone's coming back from the walk, we just want to catch a few people, talk a little bit about what the walk was like, how it was here, but we want to really kick it off because Brian agreed to sit down and chat with us for a few extra minutes. And so, you heard his message already, but we're talking some specifics here today. But what did it feel like coming back here to the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk, coming back hometown? How did that feel for you to be here?
Oh, it felt great. I mean, I went through, especially with alcohol, I went through quite a bit of my addiction while I was in law school here in Pittsburgh. But I grew up in Mount Lebanon, and it's even though I've been away for a while, it's always good to come back and show people that recovery is possible, and we do recover.
And so that's really your story hit that, I think, so well. So that had that ups and downs and the in and outs of what's going on in someone's journey. I think a lot of people get frustrated whenever they feel like I should be over this by now. And I so thank you for sharing authentically, like you went through that. What do you say to somebody who's really going through that yo-yo feeling? How do you encourage them?
I can only speak to my first-person experience with my ups and downs, and I think it's important for everyone to know that relapse or reoccurrence does not mean treatment has failed. It is often just a normal part of the process, and as long as we're above ground, we do recover, right? So you just keep stepping forward.
That's great words. As long as we're above ground. That's it. Recovery is happening every time a person takes another breath. And they're walking through that journey. So thank you for sharing that. When you think about your story and how important was it to have your support network around you? How vital was that toward your journey?
It was very vital. When I had different support networks, my first structured support network was the Rooms of 12 Step, and that's just my pathway. There are many pathways to recovery, all valid. And my family, and I know that's a privilege because many people they're estranged and they don't always have that. But having a support network, however you define it, wherever it comes from, for me it was very important. It's mutual aid, mutual support. and we count on those relationships to prop us up when things are a little low.
Those relationships, I know you shared some of those important relationships in your story today, and I think sometimes some people feel like they're losing all their relationships whenever they're walking through their journey, and having people connected that are there to prop them up and support them. What a really important reminder.
Yes, and I think it's important that I went through that as well with regards to relationships. Well, yeah, I did lose some relationships, but fortunately, those were relationships that needed to be lost. Other relationships become redefined as people, as trust redefines, as caring redefines from people who have been hurt and things like that. So we don't, from my standpoint, I didn't necessarily lose those relationships. Those relationships just morphed into something different, something caring, something supportive.
That's great. You know, letting relationships be transformed into things that provide holistic care. What a wonderful reminder there. As we think about so I know some people are watching here today and are in inpatient programs and are watching, and it might be their first time, it might be their multiple times have been in recovery. You know, when someone's experiencing recovery multiple times, they feel like, I should be over this by now. How did you find patience with yourself so that maybe somebody else could learn to have patience with themselves?
That's a great question, because it's very normal to be scared. It's very normal to feel shame. These are normal human reactions. That's why when someone says, when someone says, well, there's nothing to be ashamed of, I'm always very careful about that, because shame is a normal human reaction, right? And I don't want to delegitimize feelings. But for me, what worked was not getting caught up, and it's hard. And I counted on my support community for that. Not getting caught up in what my life is supposed to look like. Getting caught up in where I am in this moment. Looking at my feet in this step. And then one step forward. What does that step mean? And then the next step forward. If I stayed focused on that, I didn't get caught up in all the noise.
Wow. And I think it's a lot of noise. I know every person I know that's gone through recovery journeys, there's just so much distraction, so much expectation, so many things that people are trying to fight with in their own head. You know, and so was there anything that you thought that was really helpful to help keep you centered in those moments that would help you tune that stuff out?
Well, the things that I found that kept me centered obviously evolved through recovery, which is now 16 and a half years. But at first I relied predominantly on the rooms. Yeah. Okay, on the rooms to keep myself centered, going to 3 meetings a day and doing those things. And as I developed a core, and again, there was no bright line. It was a process. As I developed a core, I began to allow myself those relationships that are outside my family, as they became more willing to engage, as they saw I was changing. And then I evolved into the things that help me stay centered. Meditation's very big for me. I took up singing and writing, and those all came later, because at first all there was noise. And the only way I could get rid of that noise was to walk into the rooms. But that's just me.
Yeah. And I thank you for sharing your story. I think it's some significant components when we legitimize everyone's story, and wherever your story is, this might be a new story to you. It might not connect with your story, but your story is important. Your story is important. Everybody's story is important as we bring these things together. In conclusion, is there anything else that you'd like to say to somebody who is inpatient right now for them to remember?
Sure. I'd say you're above ground. We do recovery, so just keep stepping forward. Do your best. Rely on whatever resources you have to not get caught up in the noise. Just to step in front of you. And I know it's a cliche when they say one day at a time. For me, it was one step at a time, 1 inch at a time. And whatever that means for you, just do that. I mean, for me, that was what was important in tuning out all the noise and all the fears and all the shame.
Brian, thank you for your experience. Thank you for being part of this event today. Thank you for representing Pittsburgh well and your story and your life. Thank you for watching. We've got a number of interviews continuing here as we move forward. Keep and stay tuned.
Hey, my recovery people. This is Nicole Carson here again. I got KP, our fantastic, outstanding MC. So, KP, tell me, what makes this recovery walk so special for you?
It's the community. It's having everybody come together for a worthy cause and showing love for something that's so important in our community. So, this is fantastic.
So I gotta tell you, you were really up close and personal listening to them storytellers. What stuck out to you? What is something you will take away from today?
You know, it's amazing. Every time you have the opportunity to hear someone speak about their personal journey, their personal experience, it provides hope. It literally recharges my recovery batteries when I see someone else and hear somebody else talk about their journey, the steps they've taken towards recovery, and all they're doing now to help other people, because what's that saying? To keep it, you gotta what? Give it away.
Absolutely. Give it away is so important. That's how new people find us every single day. So you've been coming to this walk for a little bit, right? And we got some people watching on a live stream that maybe have never been here before. We got Gateway watching. Hey, Gateway. So tell me, what's your message to them about this walk? What's your message to them about the walk?
I'm looking forward to seeing all of you. What's up, everybody who's out there? Gateway, much love, all up in my heart, right? I'm looking forward to seeing you right here beside me next year, next time. But right now, we're with you. Wherever you're at, we're with you. We're going to stay with you. This thing is real. This is real. This is our testimony. This is our hope. You're bringing us hope as we're bringing you hope. Validation, complete empathy, no judgment. Stay in the fight. Keep your head up. It's real.
Yes, don't give up. Listen, when we tell you to come find us next year, all you got to do is come find us, say, hey, remember when you gave a shout out to Gateway? Here I am, and we can't wait to hug you. So now I got one last question for you, right? It's a big one. You ready for it? All right. I need you to describe the Pittsburgh 2023 Recovery Walk in one word. Just one word. What you got?
I'll tell you what. I'm just going to say awesome. The walk is incredible because, again, there's so many people here, and it brings tears to my eyes just to see how many people come out. And every once in a while, you just need someone to show up for you, and there's a whole lot of people that showed up for us today.
Yes. I gotta tell you, you're like the third person that said awesome. So you can't deny that this place is unbelievable. Awesome it is. All right, guys. KP and I will see you soon, and see you soon. All right, bye.
All right, we're here doing our saving the best for last here, Alyssa. We're so glad you're here and so glad for everybody who's stuck on through the whole live stream. Today at the Pittsburgh Recovery Walk has been a beautiful day celebrating recovery and every pathway associated with it, reducing stigma and encouraging everybody to get access to tons of resources. Alyssa, why don't you take a second here as wherever of our friends that are watching in Gateway, what is something that you'd like to make sure that they know more than anything in this moment?
Oh man, more than anything in this moment. I want you to know that you matter and that you are worthy of your recovery. I think often we get kind of pushed down and forgotten about, right? But like, you're worth it. You're worthy. I don't know how else to say it.
Well, I think it's showing value, right? Well, it's hard, right? You know why it's weird? Because people aren't used to being told they're important. You know, we have decreased value in so many people that they just don't see it. So it feels weird whenever we say it. It shouldn't feel weird. It should feel normal to say that a human being is important, you know, and I think that's really a big part. How does the internal value inside yourself, how does it, you feel it changes for a person as they're walking through a recovery journey?
Yeah, so I know, like, when I first started my recovery journey, I was so comfortable in my depression and my isolation that when I started to like myself and I started to realize that I do have worth, like, that was uncomfortable. So I think the big moment for me was whenever I was able to, like, start to, I guess, to feel normal doing normal things, right? I don't know, like, we're used to. Sorry. Okay, sorry. We're so used to being uncomfortable, and we're so used to sitting in that it is uncomfortable to recover. I don't know how to say it. I'm sorry, I'm distracted. There's a lot going on behind us.
The Recovery Walk's filled with all the activity in the world, and you're doing great.
I had a thought. It just went.
Now, you said whenever you started your recovery journey and you were feeling through those emotions, I think a lot of people feel those same types of emotions. And so why don't you take a second and just share a little bit about at that beginning stage, whatever things were still all over the place, right? How does that process, how did you persevere through those feelings?
Man, that's tough. Well, you can't see him now, but I had my son was a good motivator. I actually found out I was pregnant with him while I was homeless. I was in prison. And I did not know what to do. When I got out, everybody kept saying, just do the right thing, just do the next right thing. And I didn't even know what the right thing was. All I knew how to do was to get high, right? So I think surrounding myself with other people that were like myself and realizing that I really wasn't alone in this journey, I think that was kind of the turning point for me. No matter what, I didn't give up. I knew that if I just didn't use it and I just didn't go back to the mindset that I was in, I don't know, I just had a feeling that it was going to be okay. And I think surrounding myself with good people who had the same goals was really important for me.
And overcoming incarceration, homelessness, substance use, pregnancy, all these things together, I mean, that is like a house of cards. It feels like I could fall down at any moment. How did you keep stability in yourself while you were managing all these different variables?
Yeah. Therapy, lots of therapy, psych meds, lots of those too. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm nervous. Man, I don't even know. I still struggle with balance, to be honest with you. It's been a long time, but I think that as you get further in your recovery journey, you have new obstacles and new barriers. I don't know that I don't want to say that it ever gets really stable. I think you just do the best with what you got and things get better.
Yeah. I'm really glad you said it that way because, I think a lot of people would have an expectation that, well, if I can get sober, then everything will be perfect. Yeah. And it's not, right? It's that having sobriety enables you to be able to sometimes deal with some of the other problems easier. But there's still problems. That problems don't go away. You're able to cope with them in a different way, right?
Yeah, I always say it, and this might sound like cliche, but I always say it's like if you have a wound that needs stitches, but you're just putting a Band-Aid on it, eventually you're gonna bleed through. You have to start from the ground up, and you have to just keep going. You can't build a house starting with the roof. You have to start somewhere, and it's not easy. Early recovery was the hardest thing I ever had to do. It's the hardest thing anyone will ever have to do, but it gets better. You just have to get through that initial hump, I guess.
And so and if you think about somebody who's watching, maybe this is their first time in inpatient, right? Or the first time they're just, or maybe they haven't even started yet. Maybe they're watching online. What would you say to them to encourage them to stay on this journey?
I wish I had some kind of great advice for people. Just keep pushing. I know we keep hearing it. We always hear that. Everyone's keep pushing, keep pushing. It's we don't know how to do that. But just surround yourself with other people that are doing like attracts like. Just surround yourself with people that have something that you want and just follow them. I don't know how to even... I never have the great advice.
I think you had great advice there. Like attracts like. That's really key, right? Working together, getting people around you that are going to be able to help you on the journey that you want to be on to get to the destination that you're aiming for. That's a really key component. Thank you so much for giving me a few minutes of your time today and coming to Pittsburgh Recovery Walk and sharing with us today, okay?
Hopefully I'll see some of you when you get out.
Yeah, that's right. That's what we want to see. So Nicole, come over here. Let's wrap this thing up. So, listen, this has been great. Hasn't this been great?
Yes, it really has been a really amazing day. It's so exciting. I'm sad that it's over.
I know it feels like it just started, right? And so, you've been seeing us bouncing around, checking everybody out, sharing all the different events and experiences that we've had here. Is there any concluding things that you'd like to say to everybody who's left watching us still?
All I gotta say is somebody said it earlier. It's magical here. Don't miss out on the magic. If you didn't make it this year, please come down next year. Say hi. Let us hug you. It's magical here. It really is. You gotta come down here and experience it yourself.
And so to all of our friends watching here at Gateway, watching online, who've shared the stream and been with us for the last couple hours, we thank you for giving us the time. We want to say special thanks as well to UPMC and the UPMC Health Plan. We could not do this event without their sponsorship and the sponsorship of the other 50 organizations that stepped up in order to make sure this happened. Also, we want to thank every volunteer that helped make this happen. And maybe you might want to join us on the volunteer crew next year. Steering committees start beginning at the beginning of the year, and we need lots of hands on deck in order to bring this together. And you can learn more about volunteering or be involved in the Recovery Walk next year at our website at pghrecoverywalk.org. I'm Pastor Lance. This is my friend Nicole. We're so glad you were able to be with us today, and we're looking forward to seeing you all again at next year's Pittsburgh Recovery Walk. God bless you, and we'll see you again